coming up now.
Thing
Bad smudges.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome to
Hello.
another Sunday with us here at Ages Past, as we have a few people taking one for the team with some other kind of
Fun.
you taking a bit of some damage, but
I got Febrezed in the eye.
yeah, but that's okay. That's okay. It's a little bit of a foreshadowing to what may be coming along your way.
If I step in the shadows, I get Febrezed in the eye.
Yes. So, welcome everybody to
Alright.
Ages Past. I am the DM AJ, and of course, I have with me at the moment 4 players because we are down one. We are missing Kayla today. We do miss her terribly, and we hope that she is having a great time where she is, and that we will be seeing her next week when she returns. But in the meantime, we still have our fabulous 4 fellas here, and of course, at the moment,
Fabulous.
you can understand that our friend Kyle here is technically not Kayla Valindra. He is playing, of course, his character, Victor, the gnome tabaxi half-breed. Now, if you want to know about all the other classes, races, and all the different characters that we have here, feel free to check out our videos on the YouTube for the Hodo RPG or Total Tabletop, as well as here on the Twitch channel. And of course, the more time you are spending with us, you are accumulating Total Tabletop points. These can be used to influence the game by purchasing things like inspiration. Here, specifically, that is where you can spend it to give them a kind of boost to their rolls when they need to not fail those attack rolls, saving throws, or ability checks. So, please be sure to give generously if you can, because they will need it. But with a little bit of that out of the way, of course, we operate every 6:30 on Sundays, and we have, of course, Hodo Seasons 1 and 2 on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 6:30 as well. And make sure to catch us there and anywhere, because the more you're with us, the more you get. The win-win for us all. So we appreciate all that you do. Thank you so much. But with that out of the way, and all of that taken care of, let's do a little bit of a recap. Oh, no, thanks again, Kyle. Let's do a little bit of a recap from what happened last week with us here at Ages Past. So, we started off with a boom, as Varkesh was basically absorbed by this large hurricane vortex of holy light, as some kind of divine energy seemed to surge into him from the excess of the rod. But luckily for you, afterwards he seemed to still be standing, as he was holding the now imbued magical rod. With it now in your hands, and then you taking the time to gather what treasures you could, you also took the time to take apart the dragon a little bit, piece by piece, taking some of it with you and leaving the rest for later, as you spent a long rest in the cave, finding the next day that the effects of the dragon had already started to deteriorate as the layer began to melt, having a little bit of a drop-off for your exit. But without anyone harmed, worse for the wear, you were able to teleport all the way back to Velcom, one of the major heroes of the last battle during the Reckoning. Now, he informed you that he was quite happy to see you alive and with the charged rod, but there was a small problem. In order for him to continue to make the remaining 4 rods, he needed a special piece, a component called cold iron that he needed you to get. Luckily for you, your cleric was able to divine with legend lore the nearest location of where this particular material is, as well as what he was truly trying to find, which was the rods for the Raven Queen that Valindra had
Did it again.
told to find. Oh, I did, yes, of course. Ebon Empress, yes. So, as of course you discovered that right next to one of the rods was a rod of cold iron as well. Sadly, though, it seemed to be in a very dark and terrible place, full of death and necrotic and cold. It was black like obsidian, and you found as you zipped out of this kind of bizarre reverse run, you were able to find that the actual answer and location to this hub of a dungeon was in Smokey's grimoire. A piece of it, a small teleportation circle that had been kept secret and safe for the longest time. But of course, with that knowledge and armed with the idea that perhaps you should be able to go in there, you figured the best course first was to prepare yourselves and make sure that you wouldn't go in blindly and without all the arms ready at your disposal. But of course, in order to do that, you would need to get some shopping done. So you all decided to return to Alniel, maybe to pass on some news and to spread the word, as well as give some updates to the dragons, and find anything that you could to help bolster your forces and to give you all those needed health potions, magical weapons, or other things you might use for your adventures to come. But as of course, when you arrived in Alniel, Varkesh said he seemed to need to have a moment to find someone. As he went off and split from the party to quickly do an errand, Rook followed him as he saw that Varkesh was doing his very best to stay away from the shadows, trying to circumvent them, and eventually reaching a destination that he turned off to and headed towards a building. And that is where we left off, of course, as Rook is now staring at a little distance to keep safe and quiet, watching Varkesh walk up to what appears to be a very ordinary-looking shopfront, nothing special, but As he goes and looks up, he can see that there is a sign. It has a small little symbol on it. It looks like a white anvil with a hammer on it. Just a very plain kind of craftsman shop, but as Varkesh knocks on the door, an interesting sight appears for you. As when it opens, you see a very large, golden-scaled, gleaming dragonborn, and you recognize him. As Varkesh, you see what appears to be Garrick. He smiles at you quite happily and goes, "Varkesh, welcome! Come inside, come in, come in. I have been expecting you."
I have been told. And I walk on in. Like, excuse me.
As you do walk on in, you can see that just before he closes the door, he pauses and turns and looks right at you, Rook. And he smiles a little bit with a grin before turning and shutting the door on you.
Rude.
Varkesh, inside this building, you can see what appears to be quite a few people. Many of them random and different in races. You see a dwarf, a tiefling, a halfling, you see a gnome. But one thing that does catch your eye is a very familiar reptilian face, a lizard folk. As you can see, what appears to be the very impressed and awed Skisk, who comes right towards you and goes, "Varkesh best blue, storm color.
Get back. Oh,
it is a pleasure to meet you again. How do you do?" You see him. You see that as he approaches you, he is actually dressed a little bit more in a travel kind of attire and a little bit less of like his actual work clothes. He seems to have made a home for himself here, kind of almost like a little bit of a community center. And you can see that he has what appears to be around him a makeshift amulet that looks to be in a slight replica of design to your holy symbol.
I have a fanboy.
But you also notice that this particular holy symbol is scattered around many of these individuals, wearing some of them as necklaces, others pin them as brooches, and a few have them clipped to their belts.
I've started a cult.
As you do
Everybody drink the wine!
As you do come in, they all seem to look at you in your direction, and you can see that Skeeks is a little bit more interested in trying to hype everyone up, going, "This him! This is Vest Blue! This is the one who did the amazing blacksmith." He's kind of doing this little open-eyed looking at you, very in awe, and kind of like that whole "I want to touch you if you're real" thing.
Pardon?
Real quick as a sidebar, I would like to have Rook move up and try to find somewhere he can kind of listen and preferably watch, but if you can't watch, listening's more important.
Sure. You try to get as close as you can and put your ear to something and you can't hear anything. There's no window for you to peek in. You can go to the door if you want, but the walls are not easy enough for you to listen in on.
Okay. Any way to get around towards the back?
You can always try.
I'll try to get towards the back of the building then.
Okay. You go to the back of the building, and it's the back of a building.
Can you remind me
So it
what I
continues to
did?
just be completely blanked out and such?
The entire lower walls are just this one big kind of like stonework. You can see that this is the crafting area, and they try to keep the lower area very fireproof and a little bit more secure, so you don't have too many problems and accidents. The upper floor is a bit more made of the wood, but it has maybe about a few windows up there to let in some light. But you can tell it's kind of like a warehouse, more of like a big stack building rather than a home or a shop.
Okay, makes sense. Any way to get up towards the higher parts of the building?
Can you fly?
No, unfortunately, but I do have the grappling hook.
You can always try with the grappling hook.
I'll give the grappling hook a try.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack with your grappling hook.
Alright, so it's going to be...
None of the city guard really give a shit.
pretty much. 22.
Okay, you definitely
Batmaning across everything.
fire it up as it just gets right up to the top, and you can see it just and catches onto something for a moment. You can just feel it tugging.
Okay, I'll pull a couple times and see if it shakes loose or not.
Nope, it seems secure.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and try to scale up higher on the building then.
Okay, sure. As you start scaling up, you can just hear what appears to be a...
Yes?
You look behind you, and you can see that there is an individual staring up at you. Not a guard, but just a citizen just looking up. An elf, just kind of head tilted, going, "What are you doing?"
Oh, I'm trying to test and see if I can get up there. It's a bit of a thrill-seeking adventure for me.
I suggest you do your thrill-seeking elsewhere, Kenku.
Why?
Because we don't like thieves and criminals.
I'm no thief.
You're a Kenku, are you not?
What does that have to do with anything?
Everything.
Mm.
And you're a racist.
And you are still attached to a grappling hook.
Trying to get up to the top of the building. It's quite obvious.
Is he wearing like a little Zorro mask?
But you do see the elf is just waiting to see if you continue to go up or if you're going to drop.
I guess I'll drop back down.
He'll just give you a nod. Sensible move. Now best be on your way. Perhaps going back to the lower district where you belong.
Wow.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Elf pompery at its finest.
I'll keep my tongue, wait for him to leave.
Oh, he's watching you. He's just standing there. You can see that he is a craftsman just by staring at him long enough with your insightful and investigative kind of nature, your inquisitive form. You can just tell by the details. He looks to be a blacksmith with a bit more of like a clean appearance to him. Looks to be more of like, if he's a master, he certainly hasn't put his hands to any steel or grinding stone recently. He just has that kind of like, I look the part, but I'm too good to actually do any of that nonsensical work.
I'll memorize his face. He'll
Okay.
get his later.
Okay.
And then I'll leave.
All right. He
I'll go
definitely...
back around to the front and just knock on the door at this point, I guess.
Okay, you're sure. He's going to follow you and watch you and see what you do. He's pretty intent on making sure you don't do anything nefarious.
That's okay.
Racism at its finest. But yeah, you go to the door and just start knocking. And as you begin to knock, of course, Varkesh, inside, this entire hullabaloo of people are just very intrigued by you. And some of them start whispering and gossiping, pointing at you. Very curious. They actually see Best Blue for the first time.
I think
the one
I
who
feel like
performed
people are talking
miracles.
about me.
Garrick seems to laugh and goes, They are at that. Please, come with me. We have much to discuss.
Yeah, I have a few questions myself.
I'm sure
Yeah.
you do. I'm sure you do. Come this way. You see
So
him...
like a little side office?
He guides you towards the back where there is a small little section that seems to have been kind of made away as a bit of an office or a place just to kind of keep away from the work area. Perhaps where a manager or other kinds might oversee any activity going on without being in the hullabaloo.
Right.
As you go inside, and the rest of them all are watching and eyeing you as you eventually make your way there, they seem to all go back to their own conversations as the door is shut, allowing you to have some privacy, during which, of course, there is a knock at the front door. You can see heads turn and look at it. Then they look at Garrick. And they look at the door. They look back at Garrick. He doesn't seem to have heard the door knock himself, so they just kind of are in this little hover mode of, what do we do? And they just seem to kind of stand there and wait to see if anything else happens. But as they're in this moment of...
Knock again?
they're very uncertain what to do at this point. They're going to just stand there for just a brief moment as Garrick quickly pulls you in and talks to you with a bit of a smile. I'm glad to see that you made it safely here.
Thank you. Though I do have a few questions. Met you in the River City, whose name all of my friends mispronounce and get wrong all the time. Didn't know you were who you...
Balak and Trilak.
I can never remember it. Never remember it.
But which was it?
Bylock.
That Balak, yes.
It's on the
Yes.
map. You can see it. It's right there.
Who reads maps?
No one, I guess.
Yeah, so you tricked us the first time we ever met you. So, good one. Though, this is getting a bit irksome. What's happening?
Nothing too terrible to worry about. But of course, there are some things going on in this material plane. And we need your help to make sure that they do not spread too far and chaos does not resume.
I'm too blue for this shit.
However, it is not something for you to worry over. By the divine light of the first one, you are his champion, and you will succeed.
Great. Okay, so I've yet to tell my friends the reason why I'm now shadow jumping everywhere, because when I was in that swirly vortex of cold, after dispatching a dragon, by the way, with a very nasty one, not a good one, messages in Misa head, very confusing.
It was more precaution for you. Should you be walking around and others might see that your eyes glow a divine gold, they could assume something a bit more
No, they
concerning.
Well, I wouldn't say they're gold. I'd say it's more like an ambery red.
Perhaps. But still, your blessing from the first one is undoubtedly a curiosity in this plane. In the meantime, that is not important. It was a precaution, perhaps, to make sure you didn't draw unnecessary attention until you arrived here safely. For now, I don't want any other of the dragons here to try and see if they could inquire about your changes.
Right. So I stab a dragon in the eye to make a magical bad guy killing mystical rod thing even more powerful. And then my peepers all of a sudden get some hoodoo stuff happening to it. And you say, don't worry.
You see him put a hand on your shoulder as he has another warm smile, clapping it there, going, "Young one, this is not of a concern for you to worry over. When you have taken a dragon's life, its energies release from it with such fury when you try to embed them in something as primitive as that rod of yours. It releases more energy than it should. Luckily for you, you were the one who stabbed it. Should one of your friends have done so, they might have had a bit more drastic results occur to them.
That's good to know.
Potentially death. I'd advise not to let them. In the meantime, you are special.
Oh, God.
You are not a dragonborn. You are a half-dragon.
I figured that one out a little while ago.
Your blood actually has the connection to the first one. You are born of his lineage.
What?
The bloodline that you have, that all dragons have, connects them to the first one. This is how you are able to contact and draw on his power. Those over there, as he gestures into the room, they try, it seems. They wish and pray, which we appreciate, of course, their worships, but they do not seem to have the capabilities of harnessing this power.
There's you've hurt my brain. My dad is a blue dragon, so unless you're the high and mighty's less, I'm not going to say it, but if you got that wrong, that made it sound like you said that I'm related to the one I pray to, and I don't honestly believe that.
All dragons are related to the first one. He gave life to them.
Okay, right. So, in the message, I was told to come here and talk to you, because apparently you're an envoy, one of his hands, which was fantastic. So I'm kind of confused. If you were in the vicinity when, or at least near so, was there not something you could have done to stop that giant city-wide thing that destroyed Trilock, I can't remember.
You see him look a little bit more somber. That is a terrible fate that befell the city. But the first one cannot directly interfere with the material plane.
Oh no, I asked you.
I have very limited powers, and do not have the means to stop such acts, especially when they go unnoticed.
I think everyone noticed that.
Too little too late, did we all?
Thank you, Yoda.
Still, this is not something for you to concern yourself over. What past is past. Now, you must look towards the future. Here and now, you must begin the final project.
What might that be, exactly?
You were granted, with your skills and knowledge, power that allowed you to harness those capabilities in you. Your skills as a craftsman, a blacksmith and jewel crafter, as it were. Now, with all these talents, you actually have the means to craft the one item needed for him to succeed and allow him to truly be able to help those in this plane from sure destruction.
You know when you said earlier that I have nothing to worry about? Yeah.
With his guidance, you will be safe. And with our assistance, your victory is certain. Now, in the meantime, I need you to listen carefully. You are destined for great things, Varkesh Stormcaller.
And my friends.
Your
I do have my
allies,
friends.
your allies are worthy to
Oh,
help
that's
you
nice.
in this task, and for you to grant them blessings, of course, in their own ventures. However, at this time, you must spend all of your resources and efforts to crafting the ever-changing key. That is your task.
When you say all the time, does that literally mean all the time?
Any hour you have in the day must be spent with this. It needs to be created quickly. It will take you time, we understand this, but only you, in your skills and magic, can it be done. Good. We are aware of your interesting trinkets that allow you to craft in there. You could use them to your advantage, for you will probably need the assistance of them and others.
Wait a minute, did you just call my trinkets interesting?
They are.
So amazing. So
But here,
there's no
There is-
impressing the envoy of a god.
there is much for me to tell you. Now, pay attention. I will show you how to craft the ever-changing key.
Why don't you pick this up?
And as he begins to lay this out for you, at the point, Rook, if you're persistently knocking,
No, I think I'm just going to leave.
okay. All right. Because I was just going to say, like, if you were knocking,
At
there'd be
this
more
point,
going
my
on.
presence here is clearly pretty useless.
Okay. So yeah, eventually if you leave, there's a bit more of like a sigh of relief from everyone inside. But you don't exactly know why or what it's for. But the elf does follow you. He looks at the door that you were interested in, and he seems to almost take a mental note of the place. And watches you leave, but you see him kind of still slowly working and lurking around.
I want to see if I can draw him somewhere secluded.
Oh, okay. Do
You're just
a
gonna shank a random guy, are you?
do a performance check. See how well you can kind of make yourself look like a appealing kind of target for him to want to keep an eye on.
Give him
Okay.
that come hither look.
No, I'm not great at that.
Oh, okay. It looks to be a little bit more of like you're trying to make yourself look nefarious, but you've never really actually been nefarious. It's not your nature, so it's like you're putting on this like behavior of like I'm twiddling a mustache. Wait, I don't have a mustache. No. Okay, how do I look evil? Do I do this? And you just try
Come
to
up and
do
see me sometime.
you try to do a lot of what you would think would be the right kind of behaviors to make him think there's something screwy with you, but he just seems to look at you as if like, oh, it's mental. The bird is a loony. So he just is very confused when he sees this like
I can work with that.
off chicken dance, but he doesn't follow you. He's just more like a what the hell.
Once I'm out of sight, I'm going to loop back around and follow him.
Ah, all right. Okay, so following him for a while, this would be like about maybe a good 5-10 minutes or so easily into Kavarkesh's conversation. He is inspecting buildings. He is looking very closely and intently at each one, and you can see him as if he's like casually standing on the street looking at them up and down. And then after that, for maybe about 3 or 4 buildings, an individual approaches him, another elf. This one a little bit more youthful, you could assume. Doesn't have the kind of age and regal stance that you'd be able to notice with your inquisitive skills. This one seems to be a lesser, quickly bowing to him and whispering something to him. From the distance you're at, you can't quite tell what he says, but you can see that there's frustration in this elf's face as he just shoos him away, and they continue to move as he inspects more buildings.
Okay, for the time being, I'm just going to keep following. I'm not too interested in getting close to hear what they're saying, honestly. Not yet.
Okay. So, Varkesh, as you see what appears to be this intricate design and use of metals and enchantments and gems, it's almost as if like this weird key he talks to resembles almost more of a a kind of like an intricate weaving clockwork kind of cube, almost like a continual rotating puzzle box device that seems to just perpetually move in a way that when it's enchanted it will activate. You can even see that he makes and talks about certain writings, ancient tongues and languages long forgotten in this world that should be etched onto the surface. And once it is completed, it should open what appears to be the final objective for you and the first one.
Shit, y'all.
Now, in order to do this, you will need a great deal of resources, of course. Any you have at your disposal will be useful, but for the main first ingredients, you will need gold, silver, copper, platinum, and you will also need a few pieces of mithril as well. No adamantine, of course, but
Oh, thank God.
you will also need to supply it with rubies, emeralds, sapphires, diamonds, and of course, opals. Black opals.
Really? Okay. That's quite a shopping list.
It will take you time. The gems you do not need to worry about now. You can gather those later or find more if you need to. But
Is there a certain cost requirement for the gems by chance?
it is small fragments of them. You do not need a whole gem, but just perhaps the dust and the essence of it.
Oh, I'll make a few people happy.
But in the meantime, take what you have here. Begin preparations. Use these blueprints to help you design the key. But for now, I suggest that you try your best to stay out of trouble if you can, but continue on your adventures and find what you need. There might be more in store for you that could be used to the first one's favor. Keep your eyes open.
I have a question.
Yes.
Who are those people?
The ones that you influenced to now follow the first one.
I met that lizard scare, whatever his name is. Like, it's over a month ago now.
From what I know, I came here because their calls to the first one were quite insistent. And I came to learn that these craftsmen, as they were eager to try and see if the first one could help them lift out of their predicaments. It seems that here in Alniel, the elves are not too kind to those who are not of their own kin. They seem to subjugate and suppress. Any of those who try for apprenticeship or journeymans are sent through years of terrible training and are even held back to the point that they have rules and restrictions that stop them from obtaining master craftsmen and shops of their own, unless they go outside those rules and parameters.
I have the perfect home for them. It's a burgeoning new community up in the mountains, protected by... I don't know if you know him. He's a bit of a klutz. Don't trust him with teleportation. It really hurts. It's a little keep in the mists. You might know about it.
We have watched you. We know of your
creepy at
keep.
all.
We have seen it. When you
Because
prayed.
if they're all like artisans and stuff out there, I mean, that could be really useful. Do you think you could maybe take them there? Go shiny gold one?
I could only handle 8 or so at a time with a teleport. If I was to transport them all, there would need to be a teleportation circle. Is there one?
There's one there.
Do you know it?
I don't. But you know where, you know how to get there though, right?
I do.
Well, it's in the tower, in the furthest west wing. Can't miss it.
So you'd like me to go, retrieve the necessary runes for the circle, and allow your new followers for the first one to follow you to the keep?
Well, I'm going to be a bit busy. But if you would take them there, we have a steward in place, a few dwarfs, a couple of kobolds. Please don't kill them. Yeah, it's very nice. And apparently, I think last time we checked, someone was... I think the wizard was heading towards Bear Top to gather some woodsmen or something like that to clear the forest below. But yes, it's becoming quite a nice little place, if I do say so myself.
Very well.
So,
I
if you take them there,
will
that'd be great.
go and see this circle of yours and record it. But in the meantime, I suggest you talk to your newfound friends. See how many would even be willing or wanting to go on this adventure of yours to your North Keep.
Well, as I said, I won't be going. You kind of have some things to do.
Discuss with them. I shall
Okay.
go and see what I can do.
All right. I'll just open the office door and head on out there and talk to them.
All right. As you head on out and close the door behind you, you turn to see he's already gone. He has disappeared.
It is his way.
But
This is the way.
you do have what appears to be the rest of the followers looking at you rather eagerly and interested as you suddenly have come out.
Vargas Stormcolor, what did he say?
He said, you're very nice people, and that he thanks you for praying to the Almighty First One. How would you like to go somewhere else and start your own guild and community and build up a lovely place for yourself and all fellow artisans and help put things together because we need cheap labor?
They look around a little bit and he kind of goes closer.
How much? How much for apprenticeship under Varkesh Best Blue Stormcolor?
Oh, I could be an asshole right there. It's entirely free.
Okay,
Get a
by
monthly subscription.
saying that, there's a sudden increased murmur of interest and excitement.
Did he hear you right? Did you say free? Free?
Yes?
His room provided?
You would have to build your own house.
Is food provided?
I mean, there's things there to eat. You might have to kill it first, or it might eat you back.
But
They're there.
It is work shop, at least.
There is a blacksmith currently in the keep that you can use to...
What blacksmith?
it's run by a few dwarfs that we've left in charge. Very, very skilled individuals. And
You
a
see
lady.
there's a bit of relief when you say dwarf.
I'm happy. You're happy?
This could be good. Good.
You see Skeesh looking around as the rest
Very
all
good.
kind of nod a little bit. Goes, another one backs up. So you need glass blowers? Or carpenters? What about tanners?
Before you said tambourines, you say tanners?
Tanners.
Tanners, yes. Skinning things is also good. Could have used you in that dragon fight a little while ago. Ignore I said that.
Dragon fight, he said dragon fight now.
Yes, dragon fight. But yes, we need windows and glasses and any masonry workers, potion makers, things of that nature.
Skeeks comes up a little bit more of like the front talker, and he's more eager to talk since he knows you. The rest are kind of a little bit on the whole, probably should not
I
approach
met him
him.
first. He's mine.
But yes, Skeek just goes,
Varkesh Best Blue Stormcolor. Are you saying there is place for us to learn craft under your guidance of First One? To learn to be amazing smiths, crafters, and artisans?
Ego is incredibly rising at this point. Yes. Though I'm not going to be there all the time. Got a lot of things to do. But whenever
But we live for free there. There's no restriction.
it is... The more you give, the more you're gonna get kind of deal.
all right. As you say that, he turns around and holds up his symbol, and he goes,
All hail the First One and his disciple Varkesh Best Blue Stormcolor.
I want to check around for a punch bowl and any powder residue.
there doesn't seem to be anything in this place.
Oh, thank God.
But you can see that they're all quite interested and eager. Some of them begin to ask you a few
Fucking
questions
James.
to understand the whole situation. By giving them a bit more of understanding, they will know that it is a keep and that there are some dwarven blacksmiths, and you could even mention that they're etchers, which does provoke a bit of interest and awe. The little bit of stuff that they tell you and the small tidbits you hear, they seem to have been very irritated and almost kind of lost and hopeless for the longest time. Many of the races here that try to find any kind of apprenticeship in Alniel seem to suffer under the elves' rules. pretty much there seems to be some kind of discussion and talk about their yearly requirements, or almost as if like in order to progress to certain levels and to get to certain ranks and to activate and achieve certain schemas and schematics and patterns, they have to go through so many decades. To an elf, which is nothing, but to the rest of the races, it's their entire lifetime. And many of them feel that they are in a place that they are just unable to progress, and they have gotten fed up. But you became a little glimmer of hope with this sudden crafting and creation beyond what they were able to do. And now you offering to share their secrets and offer them a place without having to pay for apprenticeship and all the rest seems to have enticed them very happily, and they are all quite eager to go with you. As you take a look and start to count, there is about 40 to 50 people there.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah. But, of course, as this
Remember,
time...
as Varkesh, the prophet, has always said, teach a man to smith, and he'll forge for a lifetime.
As this time kind of wraps up...
I am a smelter onto my people.
As this time wraps up, you do see that what appears to be at the very tail end of it, the return of Garrick, who comes back and, of course, seems to be a little bit more happy to see everyone in a bit more of a bright spirit as he walks over and goes, I take it that means you have made decisions. How many are going?
Raise your hands, everyone, for who's going.
Every hand goes up.
Okay, that's everyone.
Of course.
Might need to make a few trips.
You should be able to get them all in one. If you run, everybody, run as fast as you can. I will trace the circle. You should be able to make your way easily. As you see him begin to trace, he begins to slowly activate the teleportation circle as everyone gets around ready to go.
I'm just there like, like easy company, just like, go, go, go.
Okay, all right. Without any stopping, they are more than happy. You can see that they don't have really much to their name. Anything for an apprentice is owned by their master and the shops they work in. They have
Remember, keep
nothing.
your arms crossed and your legs straight.
But their personal savings.
Off you go.
And they're ready to go. You can see that they just start after this circle activates. They all go in a quick surrounding motion, lining up. It's like in the span of the time they just go all in, dashing in right through.
All in.
They all in, they all gone, as Garrick waits for the last one, and then the portal seals.
And I'm just standing there alone like a tit in a trance, wondering what the hell just happened.
He kind of smiles. He goes, I truly hope you understand the great responsibility you've put upon yourself.
That doesn't make me feel better.
I'd suggest you try to contact anyone there, or perhaps here, to provide more food and other means for them to supply themselves, not only to build craft, but to at least have a good starting point.
Oh, I'm sure Eldrin will think of something.
Well, I leave your affairs to you. As long as you can complete your task for the ever-changing key, then there is no trouble. Best of luck to you, then, Varkesh Stormcaller.
Thank you.
You see him make his way towards the door, and as he gets to it, you can see that there is what appears to be some kind of arcane effect upon it, that when he reaches it, it fades away, and just as he steps and puts a hand on it to open, his form shifts and shrinks to a small little yellow bird and begins to fly out, up to the sky.
Does he hit a window?
No.
Damn it.
But, as Varkesh stands there in the warehouse by himself, the rest of the party is off heading towards the Trader's Hall as Rook has continued to tail this individual, this elf.
Yep.
The elf seems to be going throughout this entire process looking for something, and maybe just from a little bit that what you can tell, he seems to be curious to find individuals, getting reports and information from other elves that are of lesser rank, giving him information as to what he needs to find. But eventually he seems to get so frustrated that he waits at a point right into the center of the craftsman area as other elves of similar dress and like approach him and begin to talk to one another in quiet tones as they gather slowly.
Well, while I was moving through, I want to be kind of examining him, try to get an idea of what he actually does. whether or not he's like some sort of enforcement agent or anything that would give any idea as to.
From what you can see with him and the rest, you all notice that they all seem to kind of exhibit this very almost kind of iconic uniform of design that seems to have apron with a bit of exquisite filigree and kind of bordered trim that looks a little bit too fancy to be of any kind of use as an actual real kind of apron and work uniform. But they all seem to have this kind of like guild ranking among them, almost like an elite of sorts that seems to each one be divided to different kinds of crafts. Some look to be maybe carpenters, with a little bit of insight that you can tell. You could see maybe some wood chippings or some shavings on the bottom of their shoes occasionally. You could also maybe notice one of them might have an oil stain here and there from someone who works with something with metal, and a few others that seem to maybe have a bit more of a display of some of their kind of crafts. Leather workers having a bit more leather designs and trims and patterns, while as maybe something having bracelets and other kind of bracers on them, whereas the jewelers might have beautiful earrings and jewelry put upon their ears and their hair. But they all seem to have what appears to be some kind of craftsman elite amongst them.
Okay, so does that match up with what I would know of any like local craftsmen's guilds or anything like that?
Make a history check.
Okay.
Oh gosh!
17, and I'm going to use an inspiration to reroll.
Okay.
Jeez Louise.
My God, how could this happen to you?
It's double
21.
time.
Okay, alright. Yes, you would know from the little bits of Alniel and just from the way that people have talked about things, this particular city, it is pretty selective and racist in its own way because it is the elf city, Alniel for all elves. It has, for the longest time, been this kind of shining beacon that has been untouched for years and years and years. And it does run and operate under their rules and restrictions. And they tend to have a very racist kind of outlook to things and will do what they can with their own like kind of perks of being an elf to use that to their advantage, sometimes by placing restrictions on certain things, having age limits when no one else could reach that age, or having yearly requirements for certain things where others might not be able to handle as much but they are more than capable of doing it, or even doing things where certain hours activities could happen when they would not necessarily need to trance anymore. Oh, you got a point back from Chubby.
Sweet, thank you.
Nice.
So yay.
Yay, Chubs.
Thank you. But yes, you would know that about the city of Ohoniel.
Okay. Yep, keep it watch till he splits off.
Okay. So the rest of the party, Valindra, Smokey, and Victor, you've been making your way up to the Traders' Hall, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm,
It's
mhm,
easy for you to
mhm.
make that trek. It doesn't take you that long, and you eventually see the grand, large, basilica-like building once more in front of you, ready to welcome you to come inside and to offer any wares to trade or to buy.
All right. Well, I guess we're gonna go inside and see what they got, and also I guess we can check to see if Lulu's here.
Yes, it's all right with me. I was actually trying to see if perhaps while we're here, is this where we got ice cream before? As I look at Smokey and Valindra. Did we get that here, or did we get that in city that shall not be named? That is not here anymore.
You got it here, Victor.
Just
And
the
we're not going to
content.
get any
Well done.
more.
Well done, AJ. I like it. Why you not want ice cream? We just had dragon fight. I thought perhaps maybe we get some dragon dolls. We celebrate for a little bit before we go out into wilderness to die again. I just
I
thought
mean,
it would be nice, but
we
you
were
know,
just-
Valindra, you know.
We were just in a frozen wasteland, and you want ice cream.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of thematic. You know, I thought it was kind of, we conquered the ice and now we eat it. You know, but stupid idea. Sure, fine, it's okay. I thought maybe okay. You know, fine.
Maybe with the whole group. We don't want to deprive like Rook and Varkesh of the ice cream too.
I was going to get it to go.
Let's go inside the hall.
All right, fair enough.
All right. As you make your way up towards the hall, it is still busy and bustling, and you could look or request to find Lulu if you want.
I do.
Okay. After asking a few friendly faces, you eventually get a few that recognize exactly who you're talking about, and they gesture for you to go up to the back where one of the desks are. Eventually making your way to the very rear of the building, you do see what appears to be a woman looking down at a desk in a bit more of a frustrated, rubbing temples, looking down, and just kind of muttering under her breath.
She looks like she could use some ice cream too.
Oh, there's no door. You can just go right up to her.
I was just doing like a door frame or something just to.
Oh, no,
I'm sorry.
it's just like a long
Surprise her.
room. Okay, you can surprise her.
Hi!
Ah! Darling! You see her stand up. Papers fly everywhere. Darlings, where have you been? And you see her going all the way around. Darling, here. Darling, how you been? Hello. She goes to each one, kissing you.
okay,
Okay,
all right.
tell me, how is
Okay.
everything? Where are they? Where is Rook? Where's Malkesh? Where are they?
They're doing their own little private shopping things, but we came to give you an update, and also we got a good amount of wealth from a dragon kill, and so we're here to restock.
Well, excellent news on those front, darlings, but we need to go a little bit privately. Follow me, quick. You see her.
All right.
You see her leading you down towards the back where only the typical traders will go as she goes down into that private room that you remember most of these basilicas seem to have this kind of similar layout. So down below the stairs are these closed little quarters for private contracts and other discussions and trades to be made with a bit more discretion. As you can see her taking you into one, she closes it, locks the door, and comes over to you and goes, Darlings, you have given me an amount of work that I did not anticipate, and I have had so much stress. But it's nothing I wouldn't do for my favorite clients. So
Do you have other clients?
I chose to remove all other clients except for you, darling. You are my only source that I rely upon, and will be the only ones I dedicate my life to.
That's
Also,
very nice.
we are your favorites by
Default.
design. Okay, yeah, but okay, well that's good. That's good. You make only time for us. Why did it look like you were rubbing your head there for a bit? Are you okay? Do you need head?
It's
medicine,
a
or-
minor headache, darling, from reading too many papers. I will tell you all about it just now. For the moment,
Do you want a massage? I used to give them to my nana a lot.
Oh, that'd be lovely. Yes, please do, darling. As she sits down and kind of pushes her hair back up and ties it in a bun tighter so you can get right there.
Yep. Focus on the lower neck.
All right, go ahead and just do let's just do a sleight of hand.
All right.
Amazing.
Slant. 17.
So she just goes, so, darlings, oh, that's just lovely,
boy.
darling.
Oh, boy,
Thank
here we
you.
go. Oh,
Wonderful. Now, of course, as I have told you before, I was in the process of trying to analyze all the details you requested me to find on Draken the Black, as well as a few other things, and trying to track down the nefarious folk who have been trading out our magic items, sneaking them away from us and taking them to who knows where. There's some conspiracy afoot, I tell you. Someone here, or at least more than a few individuals, are traitors to the trading hall. And they have been taking items for themselves and putting them perhaps in the black market, or maybe to other individuals who wish to have them without paying their due process. We have a bit of a problem right now. We can't rely on all of our stock to be completely... Oh, a little lower, darling. A little lower. Yes. Better. Yes. We have no guarantee that all of our items are authentic, as it were. We have been going through many of them to try and find how much of our stock has been compromised. So far, we have seen at least 50% of it has been taken.
That's a big number.
It is a drastic number, darling.
That's almost half.
And with the entire loss of Trilak and its stores, you can't imagine the amount of chaos that has been going here.
Are you guys gonna go bankrupt?
I feel if we do not correct this issue and find the culprit soon, we very well may be. This is a terrible time for us. But that is not something for you to worry about, darlings, until, of course, I have the culprit ready, or for someone for you to apprehend and perhaps question for me. And then I will have answers. And then I will have justice. Yes.
Well, I mean, do you just need money, or what is the problem?
Well, darling, some of these items were promised to others, and some of them were contracted out for us to require, to regain some of those that had been stolen, and, of course, to find them for the request of certain higher-up individuals. And with us not delivering to them, there's a small problem from it all. But either way, we shall eventually find it out. And of course, we are given a slight amount of forgiveness for the losses at Trilak. But it has been almost 2 weeks since the
event, and we are running out of time. We only have until the end of either this week or the next to come up with a solution. But that is something for us to work over in a little bit. You said you had money? Well, would you like me to deposit it as credit?
Sure, that actually would be great, because this is very heavy.
Fabulous,
for me to carry around.
darling. Here, hand it over. Let's see how much you've got.
Well, and a question as I'm handing over, I don't know, however much gold I'm about to give here. Question, Lulu, perhaps, small problems are small problems, but big problems can get even bigger. Is there anything we could do to perhaps, levy some of the burden on any bigger problems that you may have?
Well, darlings, if you can at least give us in credit some of your earnings, if not all, that will help. Because we invest, of course, the amounts that we accumulate over our years into other businesses in hopes to try and earn profits that way. So, giving us a bit of a loan and choosing not to maybe spend your credits on too many things could prove very useful for us.
Well, it depends on what things you have in stock, to be honest. But
Well, at the moment I know I have a few items that have been confirmed as authentic at least, and we've kept them in a very safe, secure place. It will take some time for me to get them out of their guarded chambers, but I can certainly bring them to you if you are interested in them.
I mean, yeah, we'd like to. If you just want to give us a list, that'd be fine.
Well, very well, darlings. Let me see what I have. As you see her reach down towards what appears to be a small sheets of paper as she begins to flip through them carefully. Let's see, darlings. So, are you looking for permanent items or expendable items?
Well, we're willing to
both.
consider everything.
Yeah,
Well, at
a
least
little bit of all.
a little bit of everything. No shame in that, darling. No shame in that. So, we have a few things. From us, we have, for the consumables, we have a potion of giant strength, gaseous form, as well as fire breathing and climbing, as well as about 5 greater healing potions and 1 supreme. Quite fortunate for us, at least that was not taken from us. You can't imagine, darling, how many pieces of colored water we have uncovered from our shelves. It's a travesty.
You happen to know what species of giant for the giant strength potion?
Let me see. The note here says it is hill giant.
All right. Okay.
Not the best, darling, I know, but if in case you might need it, perhaps you could use it. But if none of those appeal to you?
We're definitely interested in the healing potions, if nothing else.
Excellent, darling, excellent. And any other?
How many greater did you say?
5 graders, 1 supreme.
Yep.
And then as far there's a gaseous form. How much is the gaseous form?
The gaseous form, darling. Let's see. That one will run you at 2,000 gold pieces.
All right, we will consider. What about the permanent items?
Now let's see here. So from what we have, we seem to have with us a. She looks down. We have an ever-burning lamp. Allows you to see in the dark, darling. Though I don't know if you need it. You seem to be very keen on that as well. Yes, so no, I suppose you wouldn't require that one. We do also have some dust of disappearance. That's another consumable that we have previously. You could use that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it seems that differently. We have Elven Chain.
Okay.
And it seems we also have what appears to be a Helm of Telepathy.
Mm.
And let's see here. We also seem to have a Blasting Horn. Those are the ones we've currently verified, at least, as being authentic.
All right. And as far as the Elven Chain, the Helm of Telepathy, and Blasting Horn, how much are you asking for those?
Well, the Helm of Telepathy, darling, shouldn't run you too much. That should be maybe at most 1,300, I'd assume.
Mm-hmm.
And for the, what was the other one you requested? The
Elven Chain.
the Elven Chain, darling. That will run you at least 3,000.
Okay. And for the horn?
The horn, darling, that will cost you quite a bit. That is at least 5,000 gold pieces.
Okay. And then for greater healing potions, I believe it's 200 GP.
For the standard rate, of course, darling, but I'm afraid that because of the current circumstances, they're a little bit rare and on quite high demand, and they don't want to get rid of them too readily in case we need them for emergencies. To give them out to you, it would be 500 gold pieces a potion.
And dare I ask for the supreme price?
I'm afraid, darling, it is also doubled in price.
Is that like 2,000 then, or?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Ba-do-ba-doo. And how much for the Dust of Disappearance?
Oh, the Dust of Disappearance, darling, that is only 800 gold pieces.
Yeah.
Did you say how much the giant strength one was?
No.
Oh, the Giant String Potion, darling, that is 500 gold pieces.
Alright, so here, I'll make my shopping very quickly. I will take all of the greater healing potions from you,
Oh, big spend.
and I will also take the giant strength potion from you,
All right,
3,000?
and I will also, as a sign of good faith, dear Lulu, I will also give 1,500 to you for you to perhaps make a little bit of headway. Actually, you know what? Let's do 2,000. We'll do 2,000. That's easier.
You
math.
see her take your smaller hand in hers, and she goes, "Darling, I cannot thank you enough for your generosity and your absolute heroism in all this. If there's anything I can do, you let me know."
Just
Anything.
keep an eye out for cool stuff. I know it's bad times, but keep your little furry friend in mind when it comes to...
If I find anything, darling, you shall be the first to know. And if anything is extremely rare, I'll do my best to save it, so only you can see it first.
Yeah, you know, if you see something kind of cool, maybe, you know, just... maybe try to sneak it off to the side. I don't want you to get in trouble. or
No, of
anything,
course
but,
not,
you know,
darling. I will never do anything to get me in trouble.
Use,
But
maybe use your charm, to perhaps slide it out of the way,
I do have some useful wiles, but yes.
So, sign of good faith that I will hand over 5,000 gold pieces and take those 5 healing potions and the Hill Giant Strength.
All right. She will happily take them, so you can mark them off your sheet, but she also will offer anyone, if you wish to unload your gold and have a receipt of credit written down, you can do that as well. So if you wanted to lighten your weight, you can still keep the gold and platinum if you wanted to rate it like that on your person, but you just negate the weight, and you have a credit sheet, a piece of paper that can be taken to anyone that acknowledges or accepts trader currency, and you can
Cool.
then use it as a trading item.
Yeah, but I'm literally giving her 2,000 gold pieces.
Oh no, yeah, exactly, which is great. But if you wanted to use the rest as credit, you can do that too.
I will do a 2,000 credit sheet, if that's okay.
Sure, yeah. So you can put that in for the Electrum one. You can make that as your credit sheet if you wanted that to be separate from your gold and platinums.
Okay. Like that, I guess? No, that's copper. Let's not do that.
But yeah, because it goes like copper, silver, electrum, gold, and platinum. So it's like the middle one is your credit electrum. So you can just write that as a flat credit in gold value.
I got it.
All right.
Smokey will go forward, and he's going to go ahead and buy a potion of gaseous form, potion of supreme healing, the dust of disappearance. Do we know how many uses it has?
1.
One. Okay. And then helm of telepathy as well,
Okay.
for a total of 6,100 gold.
All right. So yeah,
Okay,
handing that
okay,
off.
Big spender, calm down.
She is more than happy to oblige, but she will say, "I will need time, darlings, to pull them from the vault. It shouldn't take me more than perhaps a couple hours, but I should be able to then deliver them to you. Would you wish for me to bring them to where?"
We're staying with Jen, actually, so that should be fine.
Excellent, darling. I shall be sure to meet you at Jin's place to deliver.
Also, if you want to actually get me 800 gold worth of scribing paper and ink for spell incantations, that'd be amazing.
Oh, darlings, I'll try, but that is also in a little short supply. Ever since we lost all of our stock, many of the wizards here in Alniel have been charged and paid handsomely to scribe as much as they can onto these papers to not only replace those that we've lost so that those can replace the libraries that they have in need, and also to create the scrolls they're wanting. There's been a huge increase of arms and potions and scrolls to be crafted for the efforts to stop this terrible onslaught. You haven't been here for a while, darlings. You don't know the news, do you? Oh, darling.
Other than Trilak?
It's been terrible. You've been gone for 12 days. In that time, the entire valley has gone up in chaos. There have been raids and terrible attacks on the cities of Bylock and Riverrun, all damnably from the deep wood in the south. There has been some incursions from other forces, nefarious things that come at the night, other citizens disappearing and some falling to some terrible sicknesses and others just dying on the streets suddenly. It's terrifying. Now, of course, the Dragon Council has sent what they could as representatives and other envoys to try and protect those here in the Florin Valley, but sadly I will hear rumors and reports that some of those that have been sent have also been lost. So even the dragons are finding it difficult.
Dragons have died and have not come back?
We can only assume. We have not seen them return, so we have no idea as to their location at this time.
And you're saying there are reports of people just walking down the street and they just fall down dead?
That's what some of the gossip is, yes, darling.
Okay.
It's not safe at this time, and we need to find a solution quickly, darlings. You don't understand. At this current rate, we won't have a civilization to save or to have them spend for us. Anyways, the Traders Guild will have no reason to even exist if all the rest of the world is up in flames.
Yeah. Okay. So, I don't know if what Valindra would like from all this stuff. I tried to get everything that would Elven Chain she doesn't need. Horn of Blasting is the only thing, and possibly fire breathing. I don't know. Should we put that one on hold for Kayla? I don't know, because I'm not going to spend her money. At least not that much money for her.
What does the blasting horn do? Add a character real quick. Anyone off the top of their head?
With description, she would let you know that the blasting horn lets out a thunderous roar of damage, but it has a chance of breaking.
Yeah.
Seems like a very Valindra thing to have. Oh, I mean, it could not work. Yeah, that's a.
Yeah. So the horn of blasting.
Yeah, so it's 5d6 unless the creature or target is made of crystal or glass.
Yeah.
And then there's a 20% chance. 20% is a lot.
Yep, that it could explode, dealing 10d6 fire damage.
And destroy the horn.
And destroy the horn, yep.
Yeah, 30-foot cone of 5d6 thunder damage, and it can be heard up to 600 feet away.
Yeah.
It's not ideal.
You know what? If you're resistant to fire, not that bad.
It's. I mean, I don't feel good spending for Kayla, who's the only other person who is here in this.
I don't know if perhaps Varkesh or Rook would ever use a thing like this.
I think
Varkesh already does bellow on his own. I don't know if he really needs.
I think Rook might be interested, but he's not here right now.
Well, you can always catch up with them, and we could let them know that it's here, and perhaps if they want to get it on their own, they can.
Yeah.
If not, we save them trip. Yes.
Well,
I guess.
As Valindra kind of goes, yeah, I'm still a little uncertain about it, but I can always just send Winnie. I'll just have him talk through me, and I'll go back to Valindra and just if we want it, I'll just say hey, can we get that horn of blasting added in? Take it from my
Okay. Are you gonna give her the credit then, Valindra?
Yeah, I think just for now, at least.
Okay.
Just to lighten it up. It's a bit heavy.
Yeah, and Lulu, so is the paper not available then, or?
Well, darlings, I can get you some, but not perhaps the amount you need. You wanted 800 gold worth?
Yeah, ideally.
I'll try to see what I can scrounge up. I can't make any promises. If you want to put the rest of yours on credit, I'll just take away from it later once I tell you how much I can gather.
Yeah, so I give her 6,900 gold worth of money.
Okay.
and so we'll just see how much paper and how much I get it back in credit.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we got all the healing stuff. That's great. We got some fun stuff to possibly change stuff. Okay. Is there any other stuff? I mean, don't. We're kind of busy, but are there any contracts that you've picked up?
Well, darling, right now, the greatest contract that I am trying to form is the mystery for our sudden disappearance of all our goods and possessions. That's the most important at the moment. We cannot conduct any other contracts at this time, since many of our items seem to have been missing, and anything we bring in has a risk of it disappearing. This solution must be made first and foremost. So I will let you know if I do find any more information about it, but in the meantime, no, there's nothing I can give you at this point.
Okay. Well, in that case, as I said, we're going to be by Jin's, so feel free to stop by. We're probably going to at least stay. I think we're staying the night, maybe. I don't know for sure, but he can get in contact with us if nothing else.
Well, of course, I shall deliver it as quickly as I can. And, of course, if you do have a plan for something, darling, I suggest if you could do it for all our sakes sooner than later.
All right.
All right. We should perhaps find the rest of our group.
Yeah, let's, I think we're just going to go back to Jin's.
Okay. So, making your way back out of the Trader's Hall with Lulu giving you a kiss of departure, you're able to...
Oh, yes. Oh, God. Okay.
You're able once more to finally go to the steps. At this point, Varkash would have come up to meet you because he knew you were all going to be there. Rook, I don't know if you would have tired or stayed, or what would you have been doing?
Staying with him till he's on his own.
Can we say that me and Rook kind of like passed everyone to kind of hand in our gold too?
I mean, you're going to be meeting, you at least, Varkash, will be meeting them right at the Trader's Hall steps, so you can easily step in and just quickly deposit.
Oh.
That's not a problem.
Okay.
I think Rook said that he did it too, because he can't carry that much anyway.
That was the idea, yeah.
Okay, so did you go to the Trader's Hall to do that then too?
I think me and Rook would,
Yes.
Okay, alright, great. So, with everyone heading off to the Trader's Hall, getting their business sorted, and handing off their credit to lighten the load, as it were, you all seem to have your slips of paper with receipts stamped and sealed officially, ready for you to use when needed. And you can see that your allies have quite a few interesting goodies with them.
She should be happy. I got 15 grand just handed over.
Oh, yeah, right. And we're supposed to go back for those healing potions? She didn't have those, correct?
No, yes,
Yeah.
all the items she was going to, yeah, that's right, deliver to you, so
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, cool. To Jin's. She sent them Jin's. All right, cool. All right. So, we just got back from Lulu's, and she had some pretty cool stuff, you guys. But unfortunately, not a lot of cool stuff, I guess, as she usually has, because of trying times. Not only with the disappearance of Trilok, but also because bad stuff going down in Bylok as well as Riverrun.
Well, also, someone's stealing stuff from the guild. Like, it has to be a guild member. Half of their supply has been compromised of magical items and
There's
just
traders.
goods.
There's traders in the trading hall. Say that 3 times fast.
There's traders.
In the trading hall. There's traders.
Traders in the trading hall. There's traders in the trading hall. There's traders in the trading
All
hall.
right, if you make it a song, it's kind of okay. But all right, I thought it was more tongue twister than that. It's tongue twister for me because of okay, never mind. All right, but it appears that we have lots of problems going on here, everyone. Yes.
Yep.
Yes, and unfortunately, most of it falls by the wayside. We have a potential world-ending situation with Draken.
Yeah.
All right.
Just everyone rolls the fucking eyes at that one. Yeah.
Fuck. Yes.
And
ahead,
honestly, it may even all be related.
Mm.
Although I suppose I don't know the details. Seems like if someone is going to make an attempt to return from the grave, so to speak, it would be done on a wide scale with a large number of allies. And of course, there's always the possibility that Varkash's father is somehow involved. He has a lot of resources. And I don't know. Perhaps I'm just attributing it to more of like a boogeyman situation here, but I think we should consider the people with the power to do this are the people we're already trying to deal with.
Right. Well, the crazy thing about Bylok and Riverrun is that they've already sent dragons to go help situation, and have not heard and/or seen back from them. Yes.
Yeah.
People dropping and dying in streets, rumored to be.
Some sort of disease that's killing people.
Mm.
Raids by monsters.
The monsters are likely Varkesh's father.
I don't know why I want to defend that for some reason. I'm just like, stop bringing my dad into it. No, he's probably right. He is a dickhead.
Well, in any case, I was thinking we could stop by Jin's because I actually asked him to do some research for us, possibly on dragons and also on the other liches that we may have to go after.
All right. Well, I only have one other stop I need to make. It will be lickety splickety quickety. I can meet you all back at Jin's. Yes.
Oh, that reminds me. Does anyone want ice cream?
That
I
was
mean-
another thing. Yes.
Smokey, that's like the best idea that you and only you had.
I
No
really
one
don't
else
think
came up
there's
with
any bad time for ice cream.
Just thinks it's like, he's gonna get Rookie Road.
You just literally just hear the horrible, long, drawn-out sighs and eye rolls from Valindra in the back of the party.
You just get plain vanilla.
Yeah. Are you a gelato girl, Valindra?
I would take it for more for Froyo.
I'm just not really into desserts.
I've never had Froyo. What is Froyo?
Oh, frozen yogurt.
Is it?
Yes.
I'm European. We don't do it.
That's fair.
That wasn't role play. Okay.
We still worship the moon back in the old country.
Oh my god.
But yes, so you can absolutely get ice cream if you'd like. Do you want
we-
some Dragon Dust or Hobin Goblins? What was it?
It was
Baskin Goblins?
Baskin Goblins, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go for some Baskin Goblins.
I mean, I can literally go get that and fly it right back here. I can take. Am I taking orders? Is that what I'm doing right now?
Ooh, can you get
If you want.
blueberry? Anything blue would be good.
Blue, got it. Okay.
Whatever has the most chocolate, please.
Chocolate, got it.
I like.
But like not just chocolate. I need like the chocolate with the chocolate in the
Like-
chocolate.
Chocolate. And just chocolate.
Maybe something with cinnamon.
Cinnamon in him?
Ooh, that's an interesting idea.
Ugh.
Says the one who breathes like plasma.
At least I have taste, damn it.
Yeah. But going off on your quick little scouting adventure,
I don't have Valindra. I don't have Valindra's order yet. Hold on, Valindra.
Okay.
You don't want ice cream?
Valindra just kind of goes, just give me whatever you think is best, Victor.
Can we get
Surprise
Victor,
you. Got it. Okay. Surprise Valindra. Got it.
Can we get Victor a little dress and like some chewing gum and some roller skates and a little
Nope. I
tray?
already sped up. I already flew.
Flew like this.
Hey, hon, can
one leg kicked up, the other one down like an ice skater. Just go get it.
Chewing on a piece of gum.
You big palooka.
But yes, so Victor, it's not too difficult for you with your ability to fly and zip around quickly as a monk to be able to once more relocate the pastries and dessert trolleys that always move around, as well as some of the shops that are a bit more gourmet ice creams, allowing you to really get some great flavors and mixing them up if you really like. Because these are the elves, and they are very good at making what you would consider the decorative, gourmet, and exquisitely lovely desserts. Pure bliss of fruits and sugars, decorated and glazed to glisten like a shiny coat. They are just perfect.
Yeah, they have a lot of time to perfect it. Cool.
They
cool,
do.
cool. I get it. Before I go for my ice cream run, since I'm flying, I want to go back now. Again, this is just in my notes, so I don't know if this is correct or not. But the Golden Lily, is that a thing?
Yes,
In terms of an area, or is that the shop that I went to?
that is the inn.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So not that. Not that. That's something else. I want to go to the shop where I got my little pins from.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah,
I don't think I ever got a name. I just have Zippy written down here.
Okay, well, Sippy is the owner of the Golden Lily at River Run.
In River Run. Okay.
But
okay,
yes,
so
but
that's not even him.
there is a very interesting individual that you bought the pins from, and he
Yes.
was a very slow-talking elf.
Yes. Yes. Slow elf. Yep. That's the guy.
All right.
Wait, isn't that the
I
shop
need-
where Rook and Smokey were trying to do? Oh no, that was the engagement ring jewelry shop.
Yeah, the
Okay.
engagement ring jewelry shop was with, how can I help you? Oh, dearie darlings, I don't know. That
This
was
is
the little
Doubtfire.
shopkeeper, yeah.
Amazing.
But no, so yes, you can absolutely find the shop that sold the pins if you'd like.
Okay. I think I sent you a message in Discord.
Oh, okay.
So there's two things. One, I want to see if this guy does commission work, or we don't have to role play this out completely, but I want to see if this guy does commission work for two things. One would be anything. So we got pins, right? I got everyone pins before, but for this, since we all just conquered an ice dragon, right? I want to see if there's any kind of like ring or maybe like a cool bracelet, something that I need 5 of them, right? I need them to signify us killing a dragon, like the white dragon. So it's almost like in Pokemon going to the gyms and getting the pins, kind of thing, little badges, right? So it can be badges or pins or something, but I need 5 of the same thing. Ice and or dragon and or ice dragon related. Don't know if he has that or not.
Okay. All right. So, talking to him for a little bit, he will think and very slowly take his time as he looks around, pulling a few things, bringing them down, but then he'll stop and go, would a charm bracelet be suitable if it had multiple of these pieces attached when you required more?
Yes, actually, that's a great idea. I'm glad. Nope, you thought of that one. That's okay. We'll let that credit do where due. Yeah, no, that'd be great. Like, is it like silver or metals kind of thing? Or...
What would you like it to be?
Yeah, no, just something that doesn't break very easily. We're adventurers. We're out there, mixing it up.
Silver is fine, but it will tarnish. If you wish for something more pristine, I would recommend mithril.
Oh yes, that would be great. Can you make that here, friend, or do I need to go somewhere else to do this?
I have the connections to make these.
Okay, all right, great. We're making progress. Okay, yes, I need 5 of them. One a little bit bigger than the others, one a little bit smaller than the others. Gosh, he thinks about Rook for a second. Okay, he has wings, but not the wings, but nope. Okay, I think I got. Okay, yep. All right, I need 5.
Very well. 5 of varying sizes as he looks at your gestures of how wide you want the wrist to be as he kind of makes a rough knot that and begins to make adjustable straps that would go around made of a mithril chain. So you see him kind of begin a small display of it just to make sure that it looks all right with a bit of scratch paper and some charcoal as he tries to work out a quick crude design to verify how much of what, and then he will nod and of course say, very well, 5 of these charm bands, each running you 100 gold pieces, 500 in total.
All right, now this is a great start for now. Side note, are you kind of making this like a charm bracelet right now? Because that's pretty great, DM. That's a side question.
Well, I'm assuming, you can have it as
dangles.
You can make it as dangles, or you can make it as one of the Pandora ones where it's they're like chips, and you replace the chips with a large
like a white gem.
Anything. Yeah. So it's up to you. You can do that, or you can do dangles.
No, I like it. I don't know what I want to do.
You are a cat.
Yeah, I should probably dangle.
Smokey is also.
Yep, right.
And Rook likes to do this.
Right. All right, so I will do
Magpie
that. I will do that, and whatever signifies a white dragon, and be it like an icicle or something. I don't know. But then I also have side question for you, friend. Now the picture that I sent you in Discord.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if perhaps maybe this might not necessarily be metal work, maybe more or less like patches to put on clothing or something, but anyone, and I pull out my little sketchbook and I show them a little drawing. Anywhere you think perhaps I can get something like that made? I'd rather give you business, but I mean, if you know of anyone else.
I have a cousin who is in the...
Oh boy.
fashion industries. She should be capable of crafting such a badge as it
I
were.
hope she's just like super hype all the time.
Yes, that'd be amazing. And now again, we can go back in notes or not. I don't know if I even necessarily wrote down this guy's name or not, but I never got your name from before, friend. What is your...
It is too long for you to remember.
Okay,
You
all right.
can call me Mr. T.
Mr. T. I like that. Okay.
Is he
And
wearing
I'm-
any like overly dangly gold chains?
He should now. Well, again, my name is
They have a
Victor,
mohawk.
and I love coming back here. My friends love the pins from before. I'm not going to get these ones gift wrapped like before because, I'm sure you're busy. But no, this is great. And now I have this paper here, and I'll hand them over my sheet. Does this work in terms of I have 2,000 worth of credit on a sheet? Like, I don't know, divide up into 500 pieces. Is that okay? You just want to do it like that?
He nods and goes, "Yes, we do accept traders' credit."
All right. Well, will this work? And then I don't know how you want to
You
do
see
that,
him
but-
nod as he takes it and writes out what appears to be an analyzed, almost kind of like little kind of cover sheet that goes around it as well. He takes a certain stamp that is Lulu's only, and with it, you see him mark there, and he kind of almost like rubs it so that he gets a good kind of imprint of it, puts it down and says, "Please sign below that you wish to withdraw this amount for this purchase."
It's a like Zorro, but with a V.
All right.
This looks really cool.
But then after that, and then he just looks and goes, "Very well. If
I'm
there
gonna fall,
is
right?
any discrepancy, we shall find you."
No, this is great. Again, Mr. T, thank you so much for your time. This is great. My friends are going to love these. And does he have to make these, by the way, DM, or does he have like?
He has, from what you can tell, he has connections. He's a shop owner that sells all these exquisite goods, but he does not necessarily make them himself.
All right. So, do you any kind of time frame? I don't know exactly how long be in town for, but I can come back. Or...
Do you need them expedited?
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, sooner than later. The adventuring biz here today, gone tomorrow. So
An additional 100 gold pieces should suffice to
Okay,
speed
all right.
the process along.
Yep. Okay, that's fine. I will just pull out 100 gold and go ahead and put that down. We're not going to do a note on that one.
He nods. Very good. I shall tell them that you wish to expedite your order.
Wonderful.
Where shall I find you when it is completed?
All right. Well, I'm staying. I'm actually part of House TL. Jin. I don't know if you know of this place. Is little. He's bigger than me, but do you know the name Jin at all?
I am sure I could find this Jin in the House TL.
Yes, and I'll describe the front because we've been there a couple times.
Sure,
I'll
yeah.
describe the front.
With the description and the name, he would nod and go, "I can find that easily enough."
Wonderful. Oh, okay, well, I have an ice cream order to make, so no, Mr. T, this is great. Thank you so much, and toodles. And I'm gonna head out. And I'm gonna make my ice cream run. And we're gonna go find my friends.
All right, as you head on out, just kind of in a quick zip, he of course adds a little delay. Goodbye. As you're gone, he doesn't really seem to speed up, even though you might. But you make your way easily, feeling satisfied that the order has been placed and has been put on a expedited request. As you go
Nice.
off to find the delectable treats and desserts to bring back to your party.
I need a blue for Varkesh. I need the chocolatiest chocolate for Rook. I need anything that has cinnamon in it for Smokey. I myself am just going to get vanilla with some caramel in it, and for Valindra, whatever they surprise me with.
Okay. You can see that for Valindra, they give her what looks to be like a nice kind of mixture with some bit of flowers put on there, edible flowers with decoration, with a small amount of red kind of berries that seem to sparkle in the inside. It seems to be one of the favorite flavors of this particular city. But for you,
I
they're
just tell them, I tell them to throw on all kinds of shit. Yep.
Yeah,
Whatever they got.
for you, they're happy to do that. They also put in like little bits of sugar, sponge sugar kind of designs and decorations. Of Arkesh for his is blue with blue with blue. You can see what appears to be blueberries with a blue flourish, and then at the very end, you can see one of them having this own ability to cast. They use prestidigitation to change the color and make it a vibrant blue, and they make the cone a vibrant blue. So they hand that to you.
Oh gosh. Okay.
And then you can see that for Rooks, they of course give you chocolate, and then just to make it even more chocolate, they will take it and they will dip it into what appears to be a very nice vat covering everything, almost making it like this chocolate bird beak. Very beautiful in design. And you can see that as it gets there, they also prestidigitation it and chill it to be cold as they then decorate the tops and fronts of it to make it look like a crow's face. And they hand that to you.
Perfect. You guys are great at this, by the way.
This is like the pinnacle of design and style. They use all their flair and flourish to make this a delectable treat for anyone who comes.
Just staring at them with the like Puss in Boots eyes, but like not the sad ones to get like charm them. Just like all inspired. That's what I'm watching right now.
And Smokey's was a
Cinnamon.
All right, so cinnamon, they're a little curious about that, but what they do is they go ahead and they take what appears to be a cinnamon roll. They take it and they unpeel it a bit as they then put that around the actual cone itself, and they begin to once more use prestidigitation to chill it and let it set there for a moment before they take it and they put another waffle cone warm and fresh out and curl it around there. So it's almost made like a cinnamon cone sandwich before applying what appears to be a kind of vanilla sprinkled with more cinnamon mixture, like a snickerdoodle right there. And as it settles in, you can see them take what appear to be these beautifully, almost kind of like shaped to be like designs like butterflies and a little bits of like fish that have been like pretzels that have been dipped in chocolate, and they put them around the tops.
As I'm holding all of this, I'll be like, okay, how much for all of this? This is amazing. I don't know how you did all these things.
5 gold pieces will be fine.
I will give them 10 gold pieces just because this is amazing.
And of course, as they're like, a tip, we shall all sing, everyone out together. Ha ha ha. They all harmonize in this beautiful kind of barber's quartet.
Yeah.
Oh God.
You guys are great. Take care. Have a good day. And I will fly back and find my friends so this ice cream doesn't melt.
Yeah, so you leave Goldstone because it is the pinnacle of everything as they go off and let you fly away with your desserts.
Awesome.
But yes, you make it all the way, of course, easily over the wall with your flying boots, as the rest of your party has been casually walking, eventually making their way, going through the wall, and making themselves aware of the dragons around them, and keeping their eyes averted, right? Everyone's like, yeah. Shield your eyes from the paparazzi, but you make your way all the way to Jin's house, safe and secure, as Victor comes in from above like a quick little comet to make sure nothing melts and gets ruined by the time he arrives.
Cool. Okay, hurry up because I don't know if these are melting or not. As I'm like licking my paws a little bit, and I hand it over to Varkesh, the big blue one, and Rook, here is yours with the chocolate on chocolate. It's dipped in chocolate with the multiple chocolates. And I hand this over to Smokey. There's like waffle cones and all kinds of crazy. And Valindra, special for you. I told them to put everything in it, so it's amazing. Here you go.
Wow. Thanks, Victor. This is nice.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. This will be fantastic.
You know, when you're on team victories, okay, everyone gets a treat at the end of our, at their wins. You know, we.
Mine's already gone.
Okay, Varkesh, make a con save for a brain freeze.
Amazing. You know, we slay an ice dragon, we get ice cream. You know, it's like spoils of victory.
Con save. Pressed it. Why is it not showing up?
Oh, I'm not sure. Maybe you failed it.
It may be lagging.
Or we'll just say that you failed because you rolled a 0. Oh, 18.
There we go.
Wow, identical.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a tongue, warm tongue on it.
Oh well, okay. Was it?
It was delicious.
Okay,
it was very blue.
Yeah, very okay.
It is a very lovely flavor, but you can definitely tell that it's a very cleverly made service that the elves provide. With some of their natural abilities to use prestidigitation, they are able to enhance it with flavors and colors and designs that you would not normally see, giving them not only the appearance to match the flavor, but to also make you believe that they're even more phenomenal than they should be. Presentation is everything. So, but it is.
I have something to say.
Right.
When I went off, there was a reason for it. Do you remember when I was stuck the swirly vortex of Stabby the dragon in the eye thing?
You
Oh,
what
yeah.
now?
The vortex thing
Oh,
in the dragon cave.
Rook wasn't alive then, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
It's like, what happened?
after
That's fair.
the white dragon died, we had the rod to charge from the dragon. I'm trying
Yeah,
to
of
keep
course.
I'm trying to keep the down low that we killed a dragon in a dragon city.
Yeah,
And so
good move.
yeah, and so when that happened, there was this vortex of cold and snow, and Varkesh was in the center of it. And apparently, wait, what happened, Varkesh?
Well, the thing that kind of happened is that I got a message as it happened. It was from. Do you remember that gold dragonborn that we kind of had a contractual agreement with when we left Steamboat Winnie tied up?
The one
Yes,
Lulu
Derek.
terrified.
Yeah, he's not what he seems.
He did turn into a bird.
We didn't see that.
I swear we.
Valindra was told by a little girl when she was using Winnie to talk
Mm.
as the Fennec Fox that she saw an elven woman enter the shop and then a golden canary leave.
Okay, sorry, my mistake.
It's okay.
Okay, so what is he then?
He is an envoy for the god I worship. And I was told to go meet him here in the city. He gave me some information, and apparently I need to make something which is very important to apparently all of us. It's a key, but to what I don't know. Oh, and this. And he looks around for a shadow, like a dark enough shadow. Is there one nearby?
You can go to the side of the building because the
just-
sun sets a little bit.
Just kind of like step to the side of the building and just like eyes start really radiatingly glow.
Yeah, you do notice that his eyes
That
are
happened.
almost kind of internally lit with a fire.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, that's new.
Yep. Didn't
Yes,
ask for it.
why are you doing this?
and
Why am I doing this?
you're not using
Yeah.
a spell to do that?
No. I can see in the dark.
Oh, you can. That's really
Yeah.
handy.
Yeah.
It is helpful. It's one of my greatest, most useful abilities. Maybe you should come out from there, though.
Ah, good point. And just steps out because glowing eyes and shadows probably looks, ominous. So I step out and I'm like, I've never been able to see in the dark before. It's creepy. My depth perception is hella fucked.
Well, I guess it takes getting used to.
Yeah. But yeah, I have to make a key. An ever-changing key. What's the name of the thing? I forgot the name of the thing.
That was it.
The ever-changing key.
Oh shit! What a guess.
Nailed it.
But to what I don't know what it is.
So did he tell you how, or?
In here. It's how I know most of the things I do.
Okay. Do you have the stuff you need to make it?
Yes and no. I do need apparently quite a few gems. We do have some gems, but I don't want to use them because they're in the whole parties type thing. So he said it's going to be a continuous project that I have to deal with until it
Okay.
is done. But then apparently when the time is right, it's very important for all of us.
Well, I mean,
Well,
like Victor and I said, there wasn't much to buy at the Traders Hall, and we pretty much just between purely Victor and my funds, we pretty much cleaned them out, except for maybe like a horn of blasting and a potion of fire breathing.
Ooh.
But I mean, you're welcome to them. But I mean, if you want to look for gems and that kind of thing, I actually didn't ask about gems while I was there.
that's something we could certainly look into, but I must ask, I mean, what is our part in all of this? Sort of like how Valindra's ring needed something from each of us. Is it something like that?
I mean, he didn't say, like, in my head, because obviously this is, like, downloaded into my brain from the big guy upstairs, right,
Uh-huh.
Andrew?
Well, yeah,
Okay.
he showed you it and actually gave you an exact, like, what to do and all the steps. And he said everything else, the words and all the remaining things, once you get to this stage, will come to you. The words
Right.
will whisper in your ear.
Apparently all the magical words and the doohickey things are going to be belong to me noodle when the time is right. But until then, I have to craft away at this weird, intricate thing with cogs and stuff, much like I kind of saw in that steamboat.
Okay. Do you need help?
I don't know.
Okay.
So it's all just going to come to you when it's time.
Apparently.
And we are banking all of this on that.
Yep.
And do you know what this key will do once it's completed?
No idea. He said the envoy, the gold dragon that we met before, who turns out to be an actual gold dragon.
Is he a dragon?
He's an actual gold dragon, yeah.
Oh, you didn't say that part.
Did I not? Thought I
No,
would have not
but he
missed
was
out that really
envoy.
important step. Yes, he is a gold dragon. Freaky.
Gonna change that in my notes.
Just a big fucking correction right there.
Cross off one word, put another.
Yep, don't need born in that anymore.
Yeah. But
Well, that's new. Jeez.
Right.
but it is weird though, because Valindra has this ring that needs to be destroyed with something powerful. Was it like fire or something? I can't remember.
It had
And-
to be a very powerful dragon.
Yes, it
And
had,
it's
That was
sort of-
one suggestion.
it had to be something as powerful as an ancient dragon.
Oh, you know what I could have definitely done? I could have went, before you go, Mr. Envoy, fire breath this fucker for me.
Couldn't
Dang
you
it.
just send him a message? Ask him
Uh,
to do us a favor?
well, speaking of favors, he's already kind of doing that.
What's he doing?
Over a month ago, I met a rather friendly, chipper lizard folk who was rather enamored with my spontaneous crafting skills and blacksmithery. And it turns out since we left, he's gathered disenfranchised artisans, and now our home has 40 craftsmen that are now being put to work, building their own homes and building things up.
Our hidden home in a forest that we don't want anybody to know about just took on 40 additional craftsmen, which will be noisy, loud, and require an additional footprint to feed.
Exactly.
Smokey runs forward from where he stopped walking when he heard this news. Wait, they're going there? Or you said they're there. How are they there?
The envoy took him.
How does the envoy know? How does he know where it is?
Oh, I told him. And besides, he already apparently knew where it was.
But how did they get there? I mean, you said 40
teleported.
people. Did he teleport them 8 times?
No, there was a big door, big teleportation door, and they all went fwah, straight through it. It's kind of cool.
From that description, Smokey's gonna assume it's like the freaking gate spell.
You would know it's a teleportation circle, Varkesh.
Okay.
Oh, you made it sound like they just whacked through.
No, it was a
gate.
circle.
Oh,
He made the circle on the ground. Everyone surrounded it and got ready with their actions to go through. And everyone being able to dash and move 30, 60 feet, you can literally have the first ones go and foop, foop,
Yeah.
foop, foop. You can run him in.
So Varkesh, how did he know what the circle thing was?
I don't know.
The sigil.
I have no idea. He's an envoy. He's like a thing of the gods.
And you're certain he actually did send them to the right place?
Well, we'll soon find out if they're there or not.
And you're also certain he's in any way trustworthy.
I mean, I haven't
And
really been steered wrong.
And did you interview all 40 of these people? Since
We had a chat.
because they're now in my family home.
That's not your family home.
That is our home that I remain steward
Technically,
of.
Granton, it is not our family home. I have been through this before with you.
Yep, just in my head.
Yep,
Just in my head.
Well, all right. Well, I mean, if you're going to just invite other people into other people's homes, no question as to whether or not it's okay. What are they bringing for us?
We have. Just let me recount what they were. We have blacksmiths. We have carpenters. We have is it masonry workers or just masons?
Masons.
That's it. Masons, glass blowers, and he just goes through all the list of people. Even potion makers, I think, were in there somewhere.
Alchemist.
Alchemists, that's it.
I mean,
There's a few of those that would be very helpful to have around, but what do you want us? What will we be doing with masons and leather workers?
Well, it seems to be a building little community, and I mean, it is protected by an albeit clumsy big silver dragon, who is probably going to be very interested in being social and looking after the little folk.
Decent distraction for him, but did you warn him they were coming?
No.
So
Oh
who-
dear.
why did they? So you said that they are enamored by you and stuff, but why are they going to our keep?
They said something about elves being racist, mean, and the whole climbing the ladder of betterment in terms of their craft and stuff like that. Apparently, elves say you can't be anything more than an apprentice unless you spent 200 years being my bitch.
I mean, that all checks out, but why would they? Why would it be better at our keep?
Well, they were looking
Where
for
there's
someplace
no
nice.
current inroads for trading or any sort of recognition for their craft or ability.
Oh yeah, they just want a place to start, someplace to build up themselves first.
Varkesh, you do know that they were excited because they assumed that they would be learning your trade secrets because you were a master craftsman that didn't have to have the elves study to learn to make amazing things. And
You
that
could
too.
say for free.
And the other one that you remember they were enlightened about was the fact that you
For
said
free.
there is a blacksmith there, a master, an etcher who is a dwarf.
I
Which
will
you-
relay this to the group.
Which again was something they were very eager to know, that there was another teacher there that was not an elf.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that grumpy lady will love the company.
So they're going there to learn, but are you not going to be coming with us for a while, or?
Oh, I'm coming with you. I'm not abandoning you. I mean, if I wasn't here, you'd all die.
I mean, that's not untrue. But
Exactly. I wasn't bigging myself up. I'm just quite literally the walking band-aid here.
But who's going to teach them then? I mean, assuming that Durga is okay with teaching, that's 40 people to teach.
Yes. They're going to be building their own homes out of the woods and the forest. They'll be gathering their own food. They'll be doing it all, really.
Again, increasing the footprint of the hidden area that we don't want anybody to know exists. This is a.
I mean, in all fairness, I don't know what you're talking about, so that's good. That's one less person that does
Wait,
not
is-
know where it is.
Has Victor never been there? I swear to God
Nope.
he has.
Nope.
Oh, okay, fair
Nope.
enough. No.
That's. I mean, at least that's one less person who does not know where this place is. So, see.
So at this
Okay.
point, what's done is done.
I mean,
We'll have
they were
to
also
figure
praying.
something out
It'll be fine.
somehow.
Have faith.
Free workforce, though. Hey, you know.
I don't know
could
if
be
you've
worse.
noticed, but
Exactly.
faith is not something I place much stock in.
I know. That's where everything goes wrong. You must
No,
have faith.
actually, it's kept me quite fine throughout most of my years. In fact,
So
it
the
wasn't until I
person-
started having some sort of faith that I started dying on the regular because I was relying on you for healing.
Hold on a
Instead of
minute.
doing
That made
reasonable things
no
and
damn
stepping away
sense.
from that which is trying to kill me.
Hold on a minute. How is it that something chews you half to death, and then I come out of nowhere and stop it from chewing you half to death and bring you back up? It's my bloody fault.
Before I met you, that never happened.
I didn't exactly
Ever.
staple you to my hip.
All right, you two. I'm gonna kind of float in between and separate the two of them with my little kitty paws.
Toby.
All right, so more pressing matters at hand here. First of all, just out of curiosity, before we move on from conversation, though, quickly, this house you speak of, hidden in the woods. Who owns this place?
Okay, so technically, Rook has the pin that makes him the steward, but that was something that was passed through my family for generations.
I look at Smokey and then I look at Rook. Are you two related?
Yes,
This is news.
they're married.
No,
No.
we're not related.
So wait, well, I don't understand. How would he have the place, but you own the place?
They got it in the divorce.
It was given to me. I think largely out of practicality, it also largely negates the effects of force upon my person.
And also, I mean, he's shown to be very resourceful and trustworthy, and has skills that I certainly don't.
I'm not much for magic, that's more his domain, but I have some understanding of how to run an organization. Oh god, I'm sounding like my father.
Yeah, you got 40 new underlings.
Oh, this is going to be a logistical nightmare.
They're all gonna go, "Hey, Daddy, what do you want us to do?"
Hey, Daddy,
That's going to be to you, Varkesh.
Yeah, fair enough. Ooh, but that's the thing. If we can actually find a way to bring your entire family back, from the whole bad thing that happened,
Oh, that
they
was
can
not
have
the
a place
thing.
to. They can have a place to go as well.
Because Bath Bear's still alive, and they were with Bath Bear. They lived in the same place, so if Bath Bear's alive, maybe some of your family was also out of Trilak.
It's possible. He may have been leading them away from them. I did ask Maggie to try to get people to a safe house of some sort.
Oh, there's a big ass boat.
Though, to my knowledge, most of ours were in the city, so that's not. That's,
I mean, I don't think we're planning to do anything else like super dangerous today. I mean, I think is our next step going into the place to try and get the second rod of the Ebon Empress? Is that our next thing?
I think so.
next major
Well,
thing, yes.
well, we need cold iron to make rods. Yes,
That's in the same place.
Ooh.
but we need Welcome to make rods, so we need to go get cold iron to bring back to Welcome to then go to the next dragon.
Correct. It's pointless for us to go to after another dragon if we don't have a rod to absorb its essence.
And we did ask him how long it takes to make a rod. Yes.
I mean, sounds like there's plenty of stuff for us to try to help with in the south, if nothing else. While after we get the cold iron and give it to Wilhelm, and he starts making the next object.
So maybe this is next course of action. Yes, we go, we get the cold iron, right?
Mm-hmm.
We take it back. He starts making rods, and if I'm not mistaken, Varkesh, were you being trained and/or know how to make rods as well? Yes or no?
Did he actually tell me how to?
He showed you the process of what he did to make them.
Yeah, because it was like electrum and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. The main core of it is made of electrum. There are runes etched across it to allow it to act as an absorption, but there is also the secret ingredient, which is coal iron.
I think I could definitely probably recreate it. Once we get the cold iron, and if we return, I might be able to get another refresher lesson just to guarantee I can do it.
Oh, but
Alright,
aren't you going to be working on that key thing the whole?
Yeah, that's gonna be a thing.
Okay, well,
shit. Speaking about the rods, the thing that happened with me in it that now caused this buttfuckery of the key making that I now have to do. The gold dragon envoy told me that if anyone else does that, they die, or comes close to it.
does the what?
Either the swirly vortex. Apparently, that's what's going to be a thing when we do the rods now, and.
Oh.
If anyone else, apart from me, apparently, who does it, is most likely going to get seriously hurt or seriously.
Okay.
Why?
It's something to do with dragon essence, I suppose. Apparently, it's powerful and chaotic.
I mean, I guess you have dragon blood in you. I mean, makes a little bit of sense.
I mean, all of you do now.
And is nobody just dying when the other dragon? Well, no, I suppose they're not capturing the essences. Answered my own question there.
All right. Well, shall we?
Okay. So it sounds like we have a little bit of plan. Yes, we first stop is seek out cold iron, and then maybe for round number 2, you make a rod with Vilcom, just as trainer apprentice try, and then after that we make on our own.
That hurt my feelings.
Well, no, you're right. Okay. So maybe perhaps he just watches you make it, not so much apprenticey, more like, oh wait, just turn your wrist that way a little bit and then good job.
You know what? This is why you're the leader. I'm looking forward to making you so much bling.
Yes, right. So we have and then you can make rods in your little place thing, as I point and make like a triangle or pyramid or whatever the shape is of the object that you get warped into.
It's the Millennium Puzzle.
Yes. You can make rods in there, yes?
Yes, I think that's where I'll be doing most of my work from now on.
Make a rod will travel. Okay.
Make rod will travel.
So
I don't know why I mimicked him. It's like, make rod will travel. Make rod will travel.
I'm pretty sure we did ask Vilcom how long it takes to make a rod. I don't know if he necessarily ever answered the question, but
Probably didn't.
You didn't.
He just said, eat fire! And then
all right. Okay, well, are we ready to head out now, or?
Well, no, we need to stop by Jin's. There's a couple of things I want to ask him.
You've been
about.
standing in front of Jim's house this entire
Yeah,
time.
we're just standing out front.
Yeah,
Yeah, we just yeah.
Let's go in.
Yeah.
No loitering and halfling outside. Yeah.
All right. You go and you knock on the door.
Oh shit.
No
Oh,
one
man.
answers.
We've been talking outside too long. They closed.
Rook, do you want to check the door, see if it's locked or?
Sure. I'm going to try the handle on the door.
It is locked.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and check it for traps of any sort.
There are no traps
No
on it
reason
at all.
there wouldn't be any there, and then I'll go ahead and try to pick the lock.
Go right
What
ahead.
time of day is it? As he picks the lock?
Probably maybe coming up to
20.
2 or 3.
Okay.
Okay, so you go inside. The door is unlocked, but the room is empty. The whole place is empty.
Like void of furniture and shit?
No, the furniture's still there, but
Oh, good.
there's no unseen servants. There's no djinn.
Well, I feel awkward going in there. I just met this fellow. Perhaps maybe you also go first.
Jim.
Maybe someone sent him a message, see if he's
Yeah.
indisposed.
I got it, and I'll do ascending.
You're right. He could be taking a shit. Good call, Rook. Okay, go ahead.
You should ask him if he's pooping.
Yeah. You make sure you ask him.
We're at your house for information and to give you news.
One more.
That's only 11 words.
No, we are at your house.
Okay. Whatever.
It's
Okay.
okay.
You shitting? You pooping?
Are you available? Do you have the information I asked for you? Thanks.
All right.
You forgot to ask him if he was pooping, Smokey. Did you
I'm
not
not
hear
going to
this?
ask. Bodily functions are private.
All right. You get a very eventually delayed response to you going, "Hello, Smokey. Now is not the time to talk right now. I'm currently trying not
Yes,
to
shit.
be discovered by some of Draken's forces. Please bear with."
Okay.
I was behind enemy lines.
So I share. So he is being real productive. But I asked him for like information. Maybe if we check, can I like? So what we're looking for? I asked him to put together like some papers and just information on dragons and also just all the liches and their history and all that sort of stuff. So Rook, do you want to help me, or really anyone? Just look through the study, look through drawers, desks, all that sort of thing. Possibly something with my
team.
something with my name on it or something is what I'd first be looking for.
Team
Have
search.
some looks then. Let's start with the study.
All right. Heading straight to the study, you do find what appears to be a pile of notes that do seem to have pieces of information put together and organized in a very crude fashion to try and get some information to help Smokey in his request to figure out more information about this. Now, from the piece of paper and the little bits that you can glean, you do know that there are 4 liches in total: the white, the green, the red, and the black. The black, of course, is Draken. The names for the others are unknown. The green is rumored to exist somewhere to the far south east in the forests, in the warmer climated areas. No one knows much about that one in particular. That's the one that the least amount of information is given. The white is rumored to be almost a pale reflection of a true lich. It seems to have been sent to rumor and story, fairy tale and fable, as it exists as some kind of wailing creature that moves throughout the deep wood in the south, traveling between the countries of Florin and Luxem, offering nothing but anger and sadness and hate, and any who come across it could find themselves drained of all their life and left to be a husk of nothing but a corpse. But they also tell tales of the creature gone mad, as it has no real connection with the living and the civilizations anymore, as it just decides to live and drain the forest life instead. So it seems to have a slight, what you would consider, degrading element to it from the research that's been gathered. The red is considered to be very interesting and cunning. Different reports and different accounts talk about him being reasonable but untrustworthy, cunning yet clever, and also a bit, you could call it Schadenfreude, and has a more of a enjoyment of actually trying to stay in contact with some of the current civilizations. The last known believed location that he had resided in was somewhere far, far to the northwest.
Mm-hmm.
All the liches that they know of are undead. No means has been able to fully kill them or stop them from returning to the material plane. All of them do seem to have some kind of desperate need to maintain some level of self-preservation by taking on souls. And the other parts, of course, are just the typical little bits of a lich that you would know. Nothing overly detailed about each one specifically, just that common knowledge is now given for you to understand.
Okay. And no further information on Draken?
Nothing more on Draken than what was already basically said, and that the last attempt and the battle and the recount that you already know about. You got pretty much most of the information you could from him in all the legend lores that you've gone through.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right. Shared. Well, at least we have some general idea of where to find these things when the time comes.
It should be helpful.
I did also ask Jin about any particular dragons that seemed like they would be easy targets, chromatics. Is there anything on that in the pile about that?
Nothing has been organized for that yet, but you can see books that look to be almost kind of like ready to be analyzed and taken apart to then try to give you all the summary and information from it. You could try your own if you wanted, but
I have so much other stuff to do. Okay, so Jin's not here. I will take this information though, the notes and stuff, just to and keep them with us. Well, I mean, does anyone else do you and I look to Rook and Varkesh, do you guys want to go back to Lulu and see if there's anything, whether it be gems or some of the items that we talked about?
Stop by, say hello, check and see what they have in stock, and then I really think it's a good idea to go back to the fortress, both to introduce Victor to it and to hopefully help smoothen the transition for these 40 new denizens.
Wait, are we not staying here?
Well, I don't see why we would if Jin's not here. I was hoping to learn some more stuff from him personally, but
there is a knock on the door.
Of course.
I'll get it. I'll fly over to the door.
Okay. Flying over to the door, you see that there appears to be a very tall, regal-looking elf with dark, kind of brown, orange-tanned skin. And you can see the hair is this flaming orange-red gold that seems to push back. The elegance and regalness and the height of her is very peculiar and abnormal. And you immediately recognize this must be a dragon in humanoid form. But you see her look down at you with a bit of a coy smile and goes, "Well, are you going to let your matron in?"
Oh, yes, I will open the door.
You see her nod as she steps inside, looking at you all, seeing everyone here.
Is this Big Booty Dragon?
No, this is
one of them.
No. Well,
that's
this is
TL.
yeah. This is no. Okay, so this is TL. This is the head of TL.
Yeah.
Durel is the
Wait.
one that Varkesh made the comment on with the booty, and that is Vulcan.
This is the one that invited us to that dinner before we whooped Victor's
No,
ass.
that is the head of. Oh wait, okay. Because you guys are.
Jin is TL, right?
Yes, you guys are part of House TL.
Yeah.
This
Yep.
is the head of TL. The one that you commented about the booty is Vulcan Durel.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
House Durrell, the one that I was from.
yes.
I just slick my scales down.
So this one
Getting ready.
you would know is Aratha TL. And as she steps in and inspects you all, "I'm glad to see you've all made it back safely. What news have you to report?"
Well, we are working towards the method to banishing Draken, hopefully permanently this time, we're planning at this point to use 5 rods again. This time we're using as opposed to like
I already know this.
one rod's done, but we have to find materials for the rest of them to be made.
Good, and still concerning. So, Velcom needs more materials to finish his rods.
Yeah, actually, if you can get in contact with the other metallics, if anyone has any cold iron in their hoards that they're willing to part with for this very, 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 very important cause.
I had a feeling it would be that. No, we gave him all that we had in our stores for his first attempt, though it didn't seem to succeed as well as one would have hoped. But of course, he may do better this time. Now, I'm afraid the cold iron is a very rare resource, and we don't have it here in the valley. Farther away, in the more distant mountains, perhaps, but not here.
Mountains in which direction?
To the far northwest.
Organic, maybe?
They are, in some ways. We do not venture up into the Red Dragon's territories.
Mm-hmm.
And I do apologize for Jin's absence. He has been working diligently to make sure that our cities remain safe.
We've heard really disturbing rumors that apparently dragons are being sent south and are not coming back.
I wish to say that these are untrue, but those rumors are accurate. We believe some of them have already fallen, and I weep at their loss. But I cannot let this stop our efforts to prevent him from continuing his works far to the south. Still, what is your next step?
We actually have a lead on a source of cold iron that we're going to go to investigate to see if we can give it to Velcom to start making more of the rods.
And where is this source?
Secret location that where we don't really know where, but we know how to get there. It's a weird magic thing.
Is it with teleportation?
Yeah.
So you could go there immediately.
I mean, we could. We're waiting on some supplies from the Traders Guild, but...
And then you plan to go post-haste, I assume?
Pretty much, yeah.
Excellent. You don't mind if I wait and quickly find as much information from you as I can?
No.
Do you have refreshments for your matron?
I'm afraid you know Jin's house better than we do.
I do not visit Jin's home. He comes to mine. I only came here once word spread that you had returned and were remaining outside his home. I assumed you would come in and find his absence, so I came to you.
I mean, you just missed a celebration that we just had of some Dragon Dazs ice cream. I could go get you some.
That would be fine, but I shall abstain from that. Do you have any tea in the home?
Okay, we could do that too. I'm just gonna go to the kitchen and start looking for shit.
Sure. There are plenty of different types that you can make and concoct for your own delight. The tea selection that Jin did was very elaborate.
I'm going
I'll
to go
along with Victor and do my best to help point towards the more fancy teas.
Okay.
I know how to make tea. I got this. Oh, I mean, I know how to make tea. Okay, you can come with if you want.
I come from a
coffee.
noble family of a sort.
Sure. You can make a wisdom check with advantage.
And how to make tea comes back with a Bud Light.
My uncle showed me how to make very many different kinds of teas, but okay. Wisdom, just a regular wisdom check.
13. All right. Yeah. There is no tea set tool, I suppose, unless you have some kind of previous proficiency with something like that, cooking utensils of any sort.
I mean, I don't know if you do.
I don't either. I was thinking of drawing upon my background hosting people who are higher up in sorts of shadier sides of things.
You definitely have a good display. It's more of like mixing the correct amount of tea leaves, how to serve it just so where to heat it's more like being able to get it, as best as you can.
I was more interested in pointing towards the nicer teas, not so much about how to make it. I was going to leave that to Victor entirely.
I can just imagine like Rook pulling a rapier out and like holding it against Victor's neck, going, "That's not the."
Just slowly going from box to box.
No, that's not dealing. Bad cat.
Got it. All right.
But yes, doing your own version of finding things in the kitchen, you figure it's going fairly well, as you pretty much look to be satisfied with most of your efforts to make a nice pot of tea with a few cups for everyone to drink from. The matron is leaning back, letting you finish your task as she quickly talks to Varkesh and Smokey, just getting a small, brief understanding of what is supposed to happen, as well as a bit of, news shared to you, with her telling you there is confirmation that yes, she has sent a total of 10 dragons down to the south in order to try and scout anything that they can, any information in regards to Draken and his plans. Many have not come back with anything, and some have just not come back at all. Right now, Jin and 2 others are the only ones who are still out there that she knows of that have not returned. But with your sending and you telling her that, she will be satisfied to know that he is still alive, though in probably some bit of a pickle, and is trying his best to be a little quiet and subtle. But yeah.
I have a question for you, big booty dragon lady.
Do not call me that.
I will remember to call you that.
I am Grand Matron Aratha-Tiel.
I will remember that. Do you, by chance, know of the kind of living trinkets that Jin acquired?
Yes,
Those
word
are
has
probably
spread
more.
of your little animals. Another, I have heard, also received one from you. The judge to your trial down in Trilak.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You seem to be very casual with giving those as gifts, and not even choosing to give one to your matron.
Well, that's actually kind of funny, because I have a favor to ask, and I will... Is there like a coffee table or something in front of her?
There is what appears to be a coffee table, where as you say that, you can see Victor is coming in, having used a lot of his own magical skills to now have like a light that's been heating up and folding around, almost like a dancing kind of flame that goes like a halo, and it hula hoops around the teapot.
I'm trying to make it look cool, and I'm like having the water stir itself, the tea.
Yep, the water is just constantly spinning. There's a tea leaf in the center that keeps spinning with it, so they all have little spinning tea leaves in the middle.
Right. And after I serve it, I'm gonna pull my quarterstaff also doubles as my flute. I'll just start playing a little ditty on my I never know how to say this. Shakuhachi. Shakuhachi.
Make a performance check.
It's like a little. It's not like a little, but it's a big flute.
Oh dear.
Oh.
6. I will use an inspiration. I have one.
Okay.
This is important. This is for the matron dragon. Please be better.
Oh no!
Do I keep the original 6 or does it get worse?
You keep the 6. It's inspiration, allows you to pick.
Gosh damn it.
So sorry.
Okay.
But yeah,
no, it's all good.
So yeah, Victor
I'm
does
super
his
nervous.
very best to kind of play
nervous.
with it, but you notice that there's a bit of concentration trouble, and as he tries to get some of the notes, some of the effects with his magic just kind of get to warble, and he like quickly has to correct it, which makes some of the notes go too.
Yeah.
He's like, all right,
basically.
okay, I got it. Okay, we're good.
Super nervous right now.
Has he got a flute or a kazoo?
Bad recorder.
Yeah,
playing
bad
from
recorder
second
performance.
grade.
Yeah.
But you can see that the efforts are appreciated. But yeah. So Varkesh, you were saying?
So I'm gonna open my bag of holding and I'm gonna take out the last remaining 8 figurines and place them right there on the coffee table. They're like, me and my friends are needing a few items and a few things, and I was wondering, perhaps, seeing as you are the matron, you have your own personal hoard or stash, and maybe if you would be kind enough to part with a few things, I might be able to part with all 8 of these. They're like Pokemon, gotta catch them all.
Having the Grand Matron, of course, have the greatest quantity of the collection would be very good of you. But of course, a trinket set as this, what would you want?
Well, what And I know how much these are worth, by the way, because, I made them. So, what I personally need, and I don't know about my friends, but I need a good bundle of greater health potions, and I need an arcane stone.
Oh, do you have proficiency in that instrument?
Yeah, I probably should have rolled that just straight up off the thing.
Yep.
But, that's
Yep,
okay.
yep. So, yeah, I mean, even with that's
That
a
would've
plus
been a
9, so it's a
15,
15,
so
so yeah.
it's
So we'll just say that as you kind of do that, you realize that there's something lodged in there, and you just kind of, like, shuck a little bit, and there's a little bit of dragon that just got stuck in the quarterstaff from when you were fighting
Makes
it, so
sense.
it just,
Makes sense.
you're just like,
Oh,
that did it.
Sorry about that. Okay, let's try this again. And the 1, and the...
Much better now.
Oh, there
It
we
is
go.
now a
Okay,
very
yeah.
low, calm flute noise, but yes.
Yeah. My apologies. Okay, continue conversation.
So, what do you require?
Oh, I already said. I need a good, healthy collection of greater health potions, and I need an arcane stone of significant power.
An arcane stone.
Oh, yes.
You do realize that those are very rare and not so easily given away. Why do you want an arcane stone?
Permission to approach non-creepily.
You can speak
have
to
my-
me from there.
It's kind of personal. And I'd rather not have any outside ears potentially listening in.
Very well.
Just like, there's a safe distance, it's not too much of a creep, but just like, I am on a personal mission from the first one, Drake.
She looks down at you with, like, a furrowed brow.
Your eyes say no, no. And your face
God.
says no, no.
Oh, God.
Why would you invoke our deity? You, a dragonborn.
Not. Wait, did I tell her? No, I don't think I did. Yeah, about that. Not quite.
Sorry?
Not quite.
What does your friend mean? She looks at all of you.
No, he's quite literally part dragon.
What dragon?
A friendly one, not evil at all.
I'm gonna help him get out of this. I'm just gonna stand there and stare at him.
I am playing a flute.
She looks down at you, Varkesh, but you can see that the ire is there, but she slowly keeps it in check as she just breathes, takes her tea, and sips it quietly for a moment or two, with the silence just only being broken by the flute. I shall overlook this for now.
Mm-hmm.
So, you are in touch with the first one, as you so say.
Indeed, I am.
And,
Well, his envoy specifically, but pray to the big guy, he sometimes answers.
and what is the purpose of this? Why does this matter?
It's important for the future.
Make a persuasion check.
And I'm gonna do that.
Oh, good
If I can
luck.
find it.
Have you,
Good luck.
you got an inspiration?
Persuasion.
He does have an inspiration, but we
It's
shall.
high.
Perception.
Yeah, it's
Persuasion.
decent.
Oh, I haven't.
Yeah, it's
Six. I'm gonna roll that shit.
Okay, you're rolling inspiration. All right.
Come on.
18. Okay, all right.
She doesn't eat you.
Oh,
She
that's a shame.
looks at you very slowly and goes, "If I was to grant you an arcane stone,
Mhm.
they are of great power.
Yes.
What power level do you require?"
The maximum kind.
We would not be giving you that, as she stands up a bit more firmly.
Okay, I mean, you could step maybe down. This is the haggling stage,
You do not haggle with your matron. You say what you need plainly and simply, and if you cannot justify your means, then our business is done.
What can you offer?
Without causing an uproar with the remaining broods, one of at least the 4th level would be sufficient.
Well, that'll do.
Tell me what you want to use this for before I grant you this.
It is for a key.
And the key is for...
Unknown at the moment, I'm afraid.
Are you speaking for the first one?
Yes, he did tell me to make it.
Very well. But if I hear word that you have abused this gift and allowed it to go to hands that should not have this power, then nothing will save you from my personal wrath.
You're gonna eat me.
I do not eat those that are unsatisfactory to my presence. If you are a liar and a traitor, you shall just be burned to ash.
Well, consider the fact that we've done quite a lot of good for your house already. I mean...
That is the only reason I tolerate your presence now from that question, and you don't stand in smolders.
He's questioning this himself. It's like,
I feel like even though Valindra's not here, this would be the point where she would intervene. Until Marquez like, Marquez, you need to calm down. Just, I don't know if Kayla would, but I kind of feel like that'd be in there at some point.
Present with me
Probably.
your trinkets.
Just throwing that out there.
oh, they're on the
Throw it out
table.
there.
She will take them and go, do you give them freely?
Yes.
She takes them. Then I shall do what I can to return the gesture of generosity.
Thank you. But there was a little bit more. I asked for greater health potions,
I
as much as you
did
can provide.
hear you, and
Nope.
I remember. Wait here, since you are waiting for an arrival from your trader's hall. I shall find you here momentarily.
And one quick thing before you go.
Yes.
Out of curiosity, are you or any dragon allies of yours, would you be considered to be ancient level as far as dragon power or experience?
I don't understand the nature of your question.
There is something that, not the rods, something completely different, but we need the destructive power of an ancient dragon in order to fulfill it. We're trying, that's what we need.
There are few left. Most of those who retain such power reside in the chromatic spectrum. They are the ones who dare to go for such volumes of power. We keep ours in check as best we can.
So there's no one you could possibly introduce us to with that level of power?
I will see what I can do. I shall return shortly. She continues to walk slowly out, and without really
I get to the
much
door.
haste.
I fly her to the door and open it.
Okay, yep, that definitely gives her a bit more of like a, at least one of you has manners and just nods at you before continuing on. But she continues to leave you there for the moment to gather yourself if you need to, before she might return along with the Trader's Hall delivery.
Oh, boy, that was intense. I've never
You
missed.
could really use some lessons in negotiating from a lower place of power.
She
Yeah,
seems
yeah.
But,
Yeah, he's talking to you, Markesh.
oh, right. I was just happy that I got what I wanted.
she seems to think that we're gonna I was really hoping to get a rest, but she seems to think we're going to go immediately after these things come.
I feel as though we are pushed in a lot of directions we have very little choice over nowadays, Smokey.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I've stopped
with
questioning it.
Well, the fate of the world in check here. I mean, time is of essence. I mean, do we, from information that we gathered so far, I mean, we heard that dragons are not returning from the south, and this is also where, from the notes, believe that there is green dragon. Yes, do we think perhaps these things are connected at all?
I haven't heard of. Is there a green dragon rumor that I have just completely missed?
That was from Jin's notes. There's a green dragon to the south.
That's a lich. That's a lich.
Oh, Varkesh, you got
the
inspiration.
green lich.
Yeah.
Not dragon, sorry.
Who did I get it from? I can't see it.
You got it from Ventus Kitson.
Kitsune.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
All right.
Sorry, not dragon. Lich. There's
Got it.
I'm like, what?
yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to connect some sort of dots here, and so we have to the northwest we have Cold Iron, we have Red Dragon. To the south we have possibly Green Lich and towns where dragons are not returning and people are dying in streets. I mean, we have lots of different directions of things we could be connecting dots of. Well, it's just a matter of what you all.
Oh,
want
you
to
got
do.
one too, Kyle.
Hey, whoever did that, thank you. Oh, man.
Same one.
Well, I mean, Victor, we know these things, but the thing is that our goal is to really take care of the dragon problem. We can't do that until we get dragons, but we can't get more dragons, or at least their essences, until we have these rods made. So unless we go for the red dragon's horde, which actually does have the other Ebon Empress rod, I think, yep, that's what I did. I suggest.
I just didn't know this is symbol for rod. Okay, good to know.
Yep. So I think somehow it is safer to go into this horribly trapped dungeon than to go into the northwest to
Yes.
face a red dragon.
And you mentioned to Matron Mother about secret location. Did I miss something with the more Cold Iron in different location?
Well, yeah, that's where the other Ebon Empress rod is. So there's a dungeon that was made by the suzerain, the head of the blue dragons.
In your book, yes?
That the book will give us a location to teleport there. Yes.
Okay.
Oh no, it will teleport us directly into it.
Into the dungeon. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So this is where we go next.
Well, I thought we were going to go back to the fortress. And I mean, she wouldn't know that we go to the fortress first and possibly sleep before we go to the dungeon.
I mean, would Jin really be against us, like crashing here for the night?
I don't think she'll let us stay here for tonight. Or she would not. She would suggest.
Here we go. Here comes Team Captain. Got the ideas. Okay, here we go. So, first of all, we wait for our stuff to get here, yes? Then we go to your hidden fortress in the woods so you can take care of multiple people coming into your swamp, right?
Yeah.
Unwelcome people in the swamp. I saw a play about this. There was an ogre and a donkey, something like that. Anyway, we take care of that business. We use your book to go to a place with Cold Iron, yes? And then perhaps we figure out what next step is after this. Team Captain speaking. Team victories go. I think this is good plans. Oh!
DM, were the Liches allies in the past?
From information you would know, you would have no belief to think they were. There's been no recording about any kind of communication or tie with each other.
No union.
No.
Speak up at this point then. And something to bear in mind, it's definitely not in any way, shape, or form ideal, but the Red Lich, said to be somewhat reasonable. We could lean on him for the power to destroy at least Draken's artifact. The rest of this obviously will definitely require us to work in other ways, but
I am really curious.
it's
about what my
grasping at
dad's up to.
straws, and it is an absolute last resort. But it's something we should keep in mind if we find ourselves wanting for other options.
I mean, enemy of my enemy is my friend until that enemy is gone, and then we worry about that enemy when it becomes enemy, yes?
Although we don't necessarily know that he is an enemy of Draken either. It's something that we haven't researched.
I mean, Jin has he used his entire the TL library, and I'm pretty sure this is all he could come up with.
My dad might know something. He seems like the type who would. It's a shame I
We
can't
each
really talk
have
to him.
we each have capability of travel. We could reach out, but again, we've already seen what comes of deals with liches as far as Draken goes already with Valindra. It always comes with a price, which is why I don't think we should consider it a plan A, B, or even C.
Okay.
Or like a plan Z.
Or L for Lich, maybe not all the way at the end, but,
No.
in the middle of alphabet.
Let's say R for red, so like later half.
Okay, even after, split the difference. Okay, all right. Plan R, got it. It is in Team Victory's notes of plans.
So we're okay with us going to the castle and taking a rest before going into this new dangerous place?
I think it's better that we do.
Sure.
Okay.
Sounds like plans. I believe I did say that was the plan, and as team leader, we should probably go in that order.
Mhm.
Yep. Got it? Oh, there's a knock on the door. Look at that. I
I'll
will
go
fly
open the
over
door
the
this
door.
time.
Yeah. Oh, Rook's got it. Okay, he beat me over there.
All right.
Shit.
As the door opens, you can see what appears to be a delivery ready for all of you from the Traders' Hall. Lulu has quickly sent it all over as fast as she could with a dragon escort, allowing it to arrive without any issue. She seems to be continuing to work for you and didn't arrive herself, but has deposited what appears to be all the items you have asked and requested. Smokey, for the amount of scribing paper, she was able to gather 200 gold's worth.
Better than nothing.
I don't know.
As this is happening and you're all being, able to distribute this, Varkesh, you get a tiny little voice in the back of your head that says,
I already know what it says. It
Varkesh,
gets me in... Oh, no.
come outside, please.
Is this voice familiar? Because if it's a bad voice, I don't want to listen to it.
It's the matron.
Oh, okay. And I'll step outside in case she nukes the building.
Okay. As the rest of the party just continues to hand off everything, making sure you can distribute your health potions as you like, and doing any other, who gets to do what. Varkesh, just a little bit outside and around the way, the matron is standing there. You can see her having an escort of two others, smaller in size compared to her, holding different chests and other things at the ready. As she stands there looking down at you, you see her take in a deep breath. I wanted to at least apologize to my instinctual reaction to your news. Your blood is nothing against you, and the fact that you have taken it and used it against those that have sired you is no small feat, and I appreciate all you've done for us.
Apology accepted. I mean, I wasn't offended.
The blue dragons are our greatest nemesis. And we see we have been willing and wanting to kill on sight, and
I mean,
temptation
blue is a pretty powerful color.
the temptation is very difficult at times, but I understand that what I did was more of emotional outburst, and I apologize.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. I get called worse, trust me.
I will
I'm
also
used to it
admit
by
I
now.
had some harboring resentment to you, that you gave these valuable trinkets to the lessers, but not to me. However, you have made up for this by granting me the remaining collection, and I appreciate you showing me some form of, at least, preferential treatment, I suppose.
Of course.
You see her quickly beckon over one of the chests as she hands it off and opens it for you. Inside, you can see what appears to be very richly red potions, but she holds them down for you and goes, "To help with my apology, these are a bit more potent than the ones you requested."
Okay.
She hands you 4 supreme healing potions.
Well then,
I mean, I could say I'm maybe offended, maybe trying to push for. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. It's all good. Thank you. I really, honestly did not expect that. Though, I mean, you didn't have to.
She smiles. A champion of House TL deserves nothing but the finest, especially if you continue in these efforts to promote our house. This is the least I can do. And if you are also able to get the blessing of the first one, then I will certainly be surprised. We have not had any communication with him, and most of us have tended to ignore what he is. We believe him as an idea, a model to aspire to.
Oh, he's anything but. I mean, he's pretty cool, but
Considering you have your powers, I do not deny that there must be something. And I would rather be in the favor of his chosen. Tell me, if you can
yes, my
keep...
child.
Do you see
Couldn't
that?
resist. No, I couldn't resist just saying.
If you can keep yourself well guarded in this secret, I will grant you a larger arcane stone, but it must not be told to anyone else.
I 100% truthfully, for the DM right by now, will promise never to tell, so I don't make a roll.
She nods, and the second chest is brought forward. Inside, though, there are many different gems, all of them varying in kind. Ruby, sapphire, emerald, diamond, all these different ones, but each one glowing, brilliant, and as if like a rainbow iridescence that swirls inside. The magic in them is potent, but they are just raw stones at this time, sealed away in a lead box to prevent any magic from influencing them until they are chosen to be enchanted. She pulls out what appears to be a very nice sized, almost like an egg-shaped ruby, and holds it for you.
I respectfully take it.
She hands it to you. This one has the capability of going sixths.
Okay, that's pretty damn potent.
If this is for your quest with the divine, I wish you luck. Now then, shall we return to your companions?
Yes. Quick question: how many health potions in general? I don't think.
4
Renee said?
supreme.
Yeah.
well,
well,
this-
between the party, we have 5 greater and 5 supreme.
Oh, 5 supreme. And it's a 6th level arcane ruby
Yes.
stone. Okay.
shit.
Ah, just punch my desk. Thank you.
So
I
we...
just- Step aside and hand gesture through.
She'll follow you with her attendants. As she makes
hold the
her
door
way... Yep, she'll absolutely be that kind of manners. And walks in.
I have very little of it, but when I do, it shows.
As she returns with Varkesh in tow, she looks at you all, seeing that you have your goods ready. Excellent. You all seem to be geared up and ready to go, as they say.
Quick sidebar question, DM. Did Mr. T say how long the bracelets are going to take?
A day.
Fuck. All right. Okay. That's okay. I don't say that out loud. I was just curious. I
No
couldn't
problem.
remember.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I think we're all ready. Yes.
excellent.
Belindra, are you ready? Belindra, are you good? You've been very quiet.
Yeah, Victor, I'd only need a short rest. I'm fine. I can go whenever.
Oh, that's right. You said you don't even sleep anymore.
Yeah,
You're always ready, on the go.
always ready.
Crazy.
All right, gather up, everyone, and I will start the process of chalking down to the castle.
All right, she's going to look at you very carefully. She's going to look at it
Yeah,
a little confused.
Wish she wouldn't, but yep.
Make you nervous?
She sees
Yeah.
it and she recognizes it as a very plain teleportation circle. So she's very confused as to why you just didn't mention... Because you seem to say, it involves teleportation. So she was expecting something a little bit more unique. But it looks like a very
Well,
standard
I-
teleportation one, so she's
Well
just
then.
looking at it.
I would teleport us, but I'm out of juice, and go back to chalking. And I'll mark off the chalk.
Wait, so you can't teleport us, or is it a ritual?
No, he's just doing the 5th level teleportation
circle.
circle.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, fair enough.
And he's going to the
required
keep.
components.
So, with you focusing on the keep, she watches intently. And then when you have it activate, you all can step through.
Yep.
All right, every one
here
of
we
you
go.
stepping in, you just quickly enter, and once more, that quick vertigo moment as you arrive once more in the tower of your keep. The cold air seems to kind of be a bit more of a brisk feel, as it's a bit wet from the gray falls that just fall nearby. The mist still hangs slightly below, and you can just see that just outside the slit that it looks familiar, but the keep is nice. There's no extra ivy, no overgrown roots, and there's even the sounds of people. And as you look about, there's a bit of a surprise. And we will come back after our break for them to figure out what has happened. So be
goodness.
sure to stick with us for a little bit as they go and use the bathroom and get themselves some drinks of water and everything.
Yes,
and
yes,
we
yes.
shall return momentarily. Be back in just a bit, everyone. Okay, and we are back, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. All right, so now we have arrived back at Grey Falls Keep. So, for those of you who haven't been with us for a while, this is their home away from home, a place that they liberated long ago, allowing them to have a little sanctuary to call their own. A little private sanctum, enchanted keep. No one can pry into much, but it's also in the territory of a silver dragon, so be sure to check out some of those old episodes on YouTube if you're curious about some of the histories of this place. But right now, as you stare outside the small, narrow slit that is at the top of this tower, you can see not only the keep in its great condition, but you can also see that there is smoke coming out of places, chimneys, and even makeshift kind of little vats that escape this kind of extra heat have been put in around, allowing this large hustle and bustle of workshop to be built up in the center. You can see and even hear the small sounds of tinking on metal and the laughing and guffawing from dwarves. But you also can hear what appears to be a slight cacophony and a bit of intriguing questions and curiosities, as you can also see a large sum of people that you had never seen before. You suspect those might be Varkeshes in the courtyard keep, just figuring out what to do and how to handle everything. Some of them talking to a few dwarves, and one that you can at least recognize as a very notable female that seems to be giving them a bit more direction and kind of trying to organize this very sudden surprise, but she is quick to the task. And you can even see that Eldrin is also there, the elven wizard that you had also incorporated into your home. But that is not the biggest surprise. The biggest surprise is when you keep turning your head and you can see across the bridge, past the gatehouse, where the old ruins used to be of the town, it has suddenly been cleared. And some of the buildings that have been left to decay over time have been rebuilt. Foundations have been laid down, and more buildings are slowly coming up. And there are more people. As you look at them, you recognize some of them. Victor has never been here before, so none of these are familiar to him. But for the remaining party, you recognize the denizens from Beartop. As Eldrin was told to go and gather them and to bring them safely here, he was able to use a teleportation circle to gather them quickly and bring whatever belongings they could to set up a new home for themselves. As you stare down, make a perception check for me.
Everybody?
Yeah. Oh, terrible.
Oh, poor Smokey.
Perception.
He's just in shock.
22.
22, not 21?
Yeah, I have
Reliable
efficiency,
talent.
All right,
perception,
man.
so it's a good time.
And then Varkesh, I guess.
Oh, what are we looking for?
Well,
First roll for
your
Valindra.
perception will let you know. Oh, yeah, roll for Valindra.
Yeah! That's a 6 for her.
Okay.
In pure
In
Valindra
good
form.
faith, you rolled well for her, didn't you?
Yep. Perfect.
So, all right. Rook is the one who will notice this specifically. There is a familiar face that you never thought you'd see again. It is the old leader of Beartop, the one who you cut in the ankles and sent off to be punished/trained in the forest. He seems to be back and is working with them, but you notice something a little odd about him. He's a bit more natural. There's a bit more of a calmness to him, and you can even see that as he is gesturing and doing some functions here and there, plants are moving. Some are growing, some are shrinking. He seems to have some kind of bond with nature right now, and allowing him to help in this construction effort without damaging the plant life too much, and even trying his best to ensure that they can even harmonize with some of the wildlife and tree life that are here. Beartop citizens are very different. They're more happy. They're alive with this energy, and you can even see many of them are working and trying their best to find what they need to make what they can, but they're also in this kind of like interesting little kind of a community that works with a symbiotic relationship with those in the keep. They are the ones providing, you can see, food, tanning skins, getting meat ready and prepared, having all these provisions made, and people getting an idea for what to do. Even the leader is passing out berries occasionally from time to time to those who have done a good job to give them something to eat for the day. And you can also see that inside, the keep has been filled with a lot of projects, all these different things to help build and expand this kind of township once more. Different types of rivets and bolts, all these construction supplies have been laid out and just stacked stacked up to the side with these new planks of wood. Everyone is trying their best to make this place a home, but from that's what you can tell with your perception, the current, head, who's taking the more leadership role, does seem to be the dwarf. She is very strong and quite, happy to take on the role, as Eldrin looks to be a bit more reserved and just stays in the back to answer questions. As you all eventually find your way down the tower, Varkash, make a wisdom saving throw to cross the bridge.
You brought this upon yourself.
Did we
Yeah,
all notice this
I
at some
thought
point?
I thought it would be funny because I never thought we'd have a house that's really high up. So my fault.
Do you notice that Varkash is afraid of heights?
No. Oh, that's
The
what he's
village.
rolling for? That's amazing. Yeah, no, I don't know if we notice all the people eventually.
Yeah. No, you would eventually notice them, but it's just noticing the details. You can see them and see that, but it's just the specific little tiny tidbits. That's something that Rook only really spotted. Varkash, of course, as you stand there, you just kind of stop and look down, and it's still that kind of moment of, whoa, God.
Yeah.
Better not. No.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay here.
Hold on, Varkesh. And Valindra will cast, using her tiefling ability, Darkness, on his armor.
Oh.
Great, now I can't see where I'm going.
Yep, you're just going to trust me. I'm going to hold your hand, and we're just going to walk forward like it was anywhere else.
Smokey, make a survival check.
Dark
This
bubble.
is Valindra, but yeah.
Oh, you want to roll for
Valindra can see you
Valindra's
without
survival
problem.
check?
Yeah, that's much better. Okay,
Okay,
here we go.
so she's guiding him.
Hey,
Okay,
she-
all right.
She has also she
can
has
see
devil
through
sight.
magical darkness.
Oh, she can see. That's right. Okay, good. Okay, so she can see through it. Yeah, because
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
gonna say
Yeah,
it's one of those things. It's a phenomenon where it's like you think you're going straight, but in complete
You're
darkness,
still-
you're just like da 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 da. Oh, could have just fallen right over the cliff edge, but no, we're good. All right, so Valindra, being able to see clearly past this magical darkness, is able to guide Varkash through this black void. As Varkash, you're like, okay, bit more tolerable, and you get eventually to the other side, and once more return to the keep and solid ground. Blessed be it.
So as we're walking across this bridge, I'm gonna turn to Rook and say, I thought you said that this place was hidden castle fortress in the woods. No one knows about this now.
It was.
In a way, yes. This is kind of deep in a largely unexplored forest area, or was prior, but
Yeah, there's lots of people here though.
yep.
Because
Well,
judging by
that's
your
okay.
face, you look as confused as I do. So maybe I'm not missing things.
I knew that we had sent word to Beartop that they may wish to come here, but I hadn't expected this quite yet, truthfully.
Yeah, about looking over about how many people are in in the keep, in the village, all that sort of thing.
Oh,
Just a
you would do a
guesstimate.
tally?
Ish, yeah.
Including the kobolds and the dwarves.
God damn it.
With his 6 perception, mind you. So make sure the number's fun. 38 specifically. 1,000.
A couple hundred
Okay.
in your mind.
Yeah, sure.
So okay, just so I got the story straight. So Rook, this is your family's keep.
No.
It's
No,
Smokey's
it
keep.
was Smokey's family's keep, and I am the steward of it because I wear this brooch right here.
Your Kenku
Funny.
friend likes to make weird accusations and assumptions, doesn't he?
It's not entirely his fault. But yeah, so
Oh
this-
wait, yeah, I don't hear that. That's from your book.
Nope.
Never mind.
So this was something that came actually. The teleportation, the sigil we just used was actually came with the grimoire that's been passed down through my family. And so when we found it, I mean, it was infested with magic spellcaster eating plants. It was real bad. But we were able to destroy those things. And now we have dwarves. We can introduce you to them. They're part of the Etcher clan. We have a very powerful elven wizard who also stays here.
At your clan.
It's kind of a clan.
It's just so funny.
Fine.
At your clan.
And also we have apparently a population of a small village who is setting up shop outside the walls, outside of the enchantment that protects them from being spied upon.
Okay, well, I mean, that's I just, I had a vision in my head of, mystical fortress in the woods away from population and people, and then we get here and there's like, hundreds of people. So I was just very confused, that's all.
Yeah, it's not exactly what you expect, is it?
No, that's why I just said that. Yeah, I was not expecting that, no.
I wonder who that was gestured to.
Yeah. Come on, Victor. We'll show you around. And
Actually- Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Let's introduce him to Durgra
All right.
because she's in charge.
Making your way down, of course, to the main group that's gathered in the courtyard, you do eventually have them recognize that you've arrived. The people in front immediately are very happy and, just like, oh, thank God, Varkesh is here. And they all kind of watch and look to him to get, like, this kind of guidance and hope. But, yeah, she looks at you and goes, all right, whose bright idea was it to bring all them here without consulting me?
You
My
really
phone.
need.
You. Do you have any idea how much it will take to house and feed these?
Not a clue.
Well,
I'm being honest.
Next time, perhaps you should try and consult one of us. Do one of those little sending things that you do. Send it
You're
to
right.
me, and I will let you know. No, we don't have everything ready for him. It'll take far more time to finally get everything organized. We have no beds for them.
I believe part of the deal that that Varkesh had set up was that they would build their own homes. So there's that at least.
Well, if Arkesh could find a way to give them beds for the night, I'd be much appreciative for that. That's, of course, if he could fabricate them out of thin air, as apparently all these people say he can do.
Oh, he can. With the right materials, I've witnessed it.
Oh, can he now, then?
Brooke can
Yes,
do
of
it too.
course. Of course he can.
Well, then, by all means, Mr. Miracle Worker, show us the miracles.
Actually, Rook's better at it than I am.
I don't know why you were saying that. I have no craftsmanship
I
ability.
just quickly wink at him. Hopefully he catches it.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I can see no reason why I wouldn't.
You are very perceptive.
Although there is that I can do that one thing. Yes.
That is pretty cool. That thing you do.
Yes. Do you think you could bring me a measurable amount of wood and really anything that we could use for stuffing or those beds to make them semi-comfortable?
She gestures off to the pile of woods and plank that have already been cut and made ready to be used to assemble and build. So you could use those ones if you'd like. And then as for the cushions and everything, she kind of looks at you and goes, we have some hide and perhaps some feathers, but not much.
Okay. Well,
Well,
I'll
we
just
can.
give salute to Rook, and I'll go and gather the stuff for him, and I'll place it all down, and then I'm gonna go very far away and be like, "Your magic is very potent, and it fucks with mine completely."
Apparently,
so I'm
it
just
has
gonna.
radiation.
Yep. It only affects half dragons.
You
so
don't
I
want to
have go
cross
back.
the beams, right?
Yep. Pretty much.
Clearly.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna. Is there like a place I could just like kind of make it look like I'm just out the way?
Inside the keep, there are two basically arrow-slitted sides on the left and right of the great door that you could easily look through to see everything.
All right. Well, thankfully this thing's got a decent range, so I'm gonna wait and know Rook's probably gonna put on a performance of some kind, and then when I kind of get the idea of the cue, I'm then gonna cast the spell and have him have a grandiose kind of event.
Okay,
But,
so make a stealth check for me, Varkesh, and a performance check for me, Rook.
All right, this will be fun.
Hey, who wants to slap me full of vanishing powder?
That would even
Hey,
go away.
I'm gonna use the inspiration for my music.
Oh, okay, all right.
I don't know if it'll matter, but I'll try. It did not matter.
Oh, darn. And Varkesh, I need a stealth check.
Oh shit!
Okay, so this is how the scene unfolds. As Varkesh goes behind the door and shuts it, everyone kind of watches him leave for a little bit and just, they don't know what he's doing necessarily at the moment, but he stands in the
Shit.
back there and he's kind of going to get ready to do his casting, getting his verbal, somatic, and material ready as he kind of starts up the performance, waiting for Rook to begin. Rook, of course, being very uncertain as to how spellcasting goes, so you're kind of like doing like a memory call. Okay, how does this maybe I'll do this. So he does a very grand version of display when it comes to his hand gestures, and he's just like, do it big! And then when he does a little plank will just kind of go, So it doesn't seem to sync that very well with the action that's going on, but they start to assemble, and as the pieces start to go up, people are ooh and awed watching it for the moment, but as they start to watch it for a second and they look at Rook, they kind of also look behind him as there's this large radiant yellow glow coming out of the window right where Varkesh would have been, as there's this kind of holy light coming right through where it's just like,
Probably doesn't help that Smokey is not even looking at Rook and just watching the slit, shaking his head the entire time.
Yeah. I'm afraid to say this Wizard of Oz, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, has failed miserably. As poor Rook is pretty much shown to not really be the true caster behind all this, and they still appreciate the effort a little bit, but they kind of at least all nod to each other because they're just like, best blue, it's all best blue. Best blue is trying to be, it's best blue, best blue.
Does he at least convince the kobolds?
Okay, fine. You know, I'll give an insight for that nat 1 for the kobolds. Let's see how well.
Stealth.
Yeah, they can tell.
Damn.
Damn it.
Not the best,
We tried.
but it's
Just
good
the dice
enough.
gods were not arrayed in our favor.
But you do assemble. Oh, Victor, yeah.
I just want to see if I
Such
can
bullshit, Victor. Such bullshit going on.
All right, I just want to see if I can tell too. That's
Oh,
all.
yeah. Easy enough. But yes, you can definitely tell that as this is going on, the beds are becoming to be assembled, nicely packed, and made in a good fashion. And you're able to craft 10 of them, but you make 10 large beds, enough to fit in terms like a proper size. So they're 10 feet by 10 feet, essentially. So they're kind of like these large king-size community beds, almost.
Yeah.
And they set up. And as you finish it, you do hear a very loud roar in the sky above, as you can see a silhouette emerge from the sky and a silver gleam sink across
I'm leaving.
as it comes around. And you can see a large dragon coming right there. And as it does, it seems to have what appears to be something caught in its talons. It goes right towards the town and drops some kind of creature right there for them to have and to use and eat, as he then comes around and sees the gathering in the center and seems to be intrigued as he continues to flap, and the wings just kind of pushing the air past you for a moment as he just slowly descends and then flaps and lands, staring at you all and going, "Well now, look at you all here! There's so many people back at the keep. It's so wonderful to see the tiny people. Itty bitty kitty! Even tinier itty bitty kitty! Who is this?" He leans into Victor.
So it's a large silver dragon talking to me right now?
It is.
Oh, hello, very large dragon. I'm Victor. Friends to all you see here, Team Victories, name pending. And you are?
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, but I think I will call you Really Itty Bitty Kitty.
Well, okay, not the first time, sort of, small joke made, but okay, that's fine. Not one to tell a dragon what to call me, so
Of course.
What
My
can I
names are Legend, and your name shall go down in history, for I am Badoom the Brilliant.
ba-boom.
Badoom.
But ba-boom, ba-doom. The Brilliant. Okay.
Tell
okay.
me, what brings you here with your fabled friends?
Fabled friends? No, Team Victories. I just told you our name. Okay, doesn't matter. Well, this is not even my place. This is my first time here. I looked around the rest of the team.
Yeah, we're just here to rest for the night and to settle in the new people. And then we're going to be on our way because actually, Bardub, there's a lot going on down south that's bad.
Bad?
Yeah.
What is bad?
There are dragons that are being sent on missions and they aren't coming back.
What missions? What dragons? Tell me more, itty bitty kitty.
Okay, so I will just kind of paraphrase everything as far as what we were told by the matron, and as far as like we believe they're investigating Draken, and that is possible. I'll spread the gossip.
This is very disturbing news.
Yeah,
But you are doing your best to try and turn the tide.
leaving at first light.
Excellent! I will look forward to hearing the story of your victory.
Ah, you did it. See, that's our team name. You did. Okay. No. All right.
I
Well,
still don't think that we all agreed upon that.
still working on that. But you see how easily it works in the conversation as I look over at Rook. It's very right in there. He did it. He got it right away. You get it right, Badoom.
Victory is a fine name.
Right? That's all I'm saying. He gets it. The dragon gets it.
Well,
Anyway.
I know that you are swamped with many responsibilities, and you certainly have your plates full, considering you are now about to embark on a quest that will save the world. This
That
is
should be a
glorious!
I almost wish it was a joke, but it's not. It's really not.
Have faith. You will find the answers you seek, and the courage within you to succeed. But I shall do my best to help ease your burden. Come, friends of the fabled five. Follow me. I shall show you the town and let you know what we have accomplished so far.
As
That's
he
not the bad name either.
as he begins to shrink down into his humanoid polymorph form, which is a very large, grand-looking knight. The super suave, brilliantly shiny hair, gleaming armor, just kind of like the super paladin am I, as he goes and takes them all to follow him. And they're a little curious, and they are intrigued that a dragon is actually willing to talk to them. No other dragon in Olniel ever gives them the time of day, so this is very bizarre and wondrous, and they're just gonna follow and just go along.
I am not coming with them.
Oh, I definitely am. I love Bardoon. He's great.
Badum is a bully.
Is it Bar?
That's true.
Is it
You have a very different
Bardoom?
experience with him.
It is
Badum?
Badum.
Badum?
Badum. B-A-D-U-M. Badum the Brilliant.
Damn.
Or if you ask others, they would call him Badoon the Baboon.
Yep. I called him Baboom.
Baboom.
I prefer that
Sound
name
makes
much
me-
more.
Yeah, when he blows shit up. Boom.
Who
Well,
does?
that's... yeah.
Where does Durgra go? Or Degra? Sorry.
Oh, she just stands there, just kind of looking at this whole thing. She's kind of going... she's just talking in Dwarvish, going...
Did you say tuppence?
It sounded like that to you.
It's
I'll
a very
say,
English thing to say.
I'll say with Degra for now. I won't go with Badoon.
Okay. As everyone leaves, she just kind of sighs eventually as Eldrin in the back goes, well, that's enough excitement for me today. I think I'll return to my tower. Good day to you all. Welcome back home. And he leaves to head upstairs to his little sanctuary.
Did you get the book I left you?
What book?
It was an apprentice spell book that I just left for him, just for if he wanted it.
Oh, that little notepad at my doorstep. Yes. Worthless. Thank you, though.
Thanks, I hate it. Bye.
Elves.
As we're all standing here, I'll be like, I mean, if you all don't mind, do you mind if I go follow Dragon and listen to the story
Oh.
of town real quick? I mean,
No,
Yeah.
no, I
Sounds like
intended to go along with him.
oh, okay. It sounded like he was giving a tour, and I'd never been here before, so I didn't know.
Yeah,
Perhaps
go,
maybe
go.
I don't know. Okay, okay, and I will fly off and try to catch up to the. Wait, oh, Rook, you said you wanted to come too, yes?
Yes?
They're walking.
Oh, okay.
They are walking.
I'll walk with Rook.
Okay.
I'll act like I'm about to fly, be like, oh, okay, sorry, you don't. Oh man, okay. Stop.
Way to dig into my
This is awkward.
race's,
Yep. Nope. This is
biggest
awkward. Okay.
downfall.
Valindra kind of just goes, I'm gonna go and find a bed, and I'm gonna just lay there with my eyes closed. I
Oh.
can't. As she
You
just,
do pretty good, Valindra.
as she goes off, and just is going to be, I need a day.
I think it's more likely she should be spending this time learning one of the many things she's trying to learn, but I mean, that's just me.
Yeah.
She's gonna go to a room and she's gonna do this kind of version of like, oh god, all this. You can see it's like just like Varkesh. Why did you do this to me? Why did you do this to me? It's mostly
That
that
sounds
right
a lot
now.
like Valindra.
It's just kind of like this whole. Okay, all right. Accept the things you cannot change. Move on. So it's that kind of moment for her. So for Smokey and Varkesh, what do you two do as the other pair walk off?
I'm hiding from Badum and not coming out until he leaves.
Okay. Smokey,
Okay.
do you wish to do anything?
Not. I have my before bed list, but that's really about it.
All right, okay. So for the most part, for the rest of the day, you guys are all going to be basically wind down and do your own thing for the most part, getting your relaxation mode in for just this time. For Rook and for Victor, you are basically going throughout what appears to be this kind of little, barely talking about tour of how they've started to rebuild the town, and he is very excited. And he talks about the people from Baratop, very hardy folks that have taken a little bit of time to adjust and become more open-minded, but ever since their reborn leader has returned, being more wise to the ways of the world, there has been more prosperity and bountiful harvests from this entire venture. As lumber has been made and each one that's been cut down, he knows what tree is perfect to do, which ones are the best, which ones are the worst, and also how to kind of reinforce the wood, as well as to make more suitable homes, as he's even melding, and people are using tree trunks as part of the actual kind of like structure itself. So there's this kind of interesting harmony with nature that's going on, but it's also very nice and extremely quick. You can see that they've been working diligently, and it is an impressive feat that he is quite proud of, to see that his tiny little human population, almost like his little corral of pets, as you can kind of get that feel for the inside of him. He's just very proud that they're now building back up what was once a very prestigious keep. You can see, of course, that many of the people are quite happy, and they recognize him. They do wave at him. Some of them kind of do the whole, oh, God, okay, hi there, nice to see you. But you can see that it's a mixture of some very happy, some very, oh, bother. The kids are a bit more welcome to him because he seems to just be a rare, amazing sight, and it's funny. 'Cause they also like how it makes the adults kind of cringe, what makes it even more funny for them. But the entire event is just you learning that the town is up and bustling. Many of them are going about their business. The one that was recognizing Rook, the guy who you cut the ankles on, he does notice you.
Mm-hmm.
And he does see you, and you can see that his face is kind of a mixture of emotions for a moment, but then he turns away from you and doesn't want to deal with you. He just seems to kind of
That's
be...
okay.
He just feels a little irritated. But for the rest of the time, it's a pleasant tour, and you can see that for the most part, he tells them about all the places that they can build up. Eventually, shops and other stores will be presented here. People can make claims and have requests, and the efforts and skills of the dwarves, as well as the lumbermen combined, will make as many different types and styles of housing that they could possibly want. And it's all for them to choose and make a claim to, but of course, they would have to do their fair share of work, as he gives a bit more of a communal kind of, work together, help each other, be kind, be considerate, and always be just, and follow certain sets of rules. As, of course, the Silver Dragons are very keen on justice and law, and they want to make sure that everyone who stays here abides by these good principles. But over the course of the evening, you all enjoy...
Are there streets to this place, or is it just kind of like makeshift village?
The streets
Coming up
are
right
slightly there. It was in ruins. Like, over time, this entire place was a sprawling town, but trees and plants had overgrown it over time, and it just kind of toppled it. So the foundations and the layout are still kind of there, and they're kind of using a little bit of that to help guide their blueprinting almost. So the main roads are still somewhat there, but sometimes if the plot was maybe for a smaller house or a larger house, they might have combined it to make something new. But they still keep the feel of it. Oh, Rook, you got an inspiration back.
Oh, sweet. Thank you.
So can I talk to Badum or Rook?
Of course.
Okay, well, I'll talk to Rook first while we're doing this little tour. Okay, so, all right, I'm just trying to figure this all out, so I apologize if I'm going backwards and forwards to go sideways, but, so, you are steward of this whole town, or just keep in up where we first came, or?
From my understanding, it is the keep, although this does look to be something like a vassal land in a way. We have the most important structure in the area.
Okay, and so like the whole town itself, does the town have a name, or?
Do I recall if we were given a name for the place?
You do know the name of the keep.
Yeah.
It's Greyfall's Keep.
Oh yeah, should know that. The keep is Grey Falls Keep was the name. It's been, as Smokey said, largely abandoned for quite some time.
And again, this is the part that I'm having a hard time with. Is it used to be Smokey's family, but now your family's in charge of this, or?
Oh, not quite so. Not quite so cut and dry. You see, I would have to have a family to speak of for that to matter. It's more that Smokey has given me this this brooch, this what is it called?
A signet?
An emblem?
Yes, yes, this emblem here, and it kind of gestures to the emblem that he's got pinned to his lapel. And that was a signifier of rank, the signifier of the steward of the keep.
And what does a steward of the keep do?
Well, my duties largely align with keeping everything in running order and overseeing the house, or the keep in this case.
When he shows me his signet of the keep, do I see the pin that I got him? Is he wearing that at all? Or
Yeah, he's got that on too. It's actually on the other lapel.
All right, good. Very good. Okay, cool. Just want to make sure.
I'm very curious, by
okay,
the way,
so-
though, because when he technically is wearing them, he's pinning them to a leather strap. Because technically, he's only wearing very
That's true.
crude bondage gear that he can put things on. The rest looks like it's regal, but he's still underneath just kind of only got so many places to put things. You're like, it could look so much better here. It's like, there's nothing to stick it there, too. So if you try to, like, pin it, it'd go, like, ow, right
That's
through
what I
the
use
shoulder.
the magic for.
Right into
The
the
magic
feathers.
mimics it there.
Okay.
Right into the feathers. Okay, well, and then I guess while we're walking and talking with Badoom here, so Badoom, just quick question for you. What is planned for this whole area? I mean, is it to bring back this village? Does this place have name before, or what is plans for all of these people?
The humans before called it Greyfall Keep. I recall that, at least. The town, I don't know if they had a name for it. But I do recall many people living here. The festivals were glorious. The banners colorful. The music cheerful. The people were lively. It was wonderful.
Lively, colorful, festive. Okay. Well, I mean, that sounds like a wonderful place. I mean, do you need any, it seems like everyone is getting, do you need any kind of, like, gold or coinage to count?
Perhaps if they needed to buy certain things for later, but for now, we can use our own skills.
Well, I don't know, and I'll wait till the end of the tour, I guess, when everyone's kind of gone from the. I just want to kind of be me, Rook, and Badoom, if that's even a thing that can happen, or at least a dwindled down crowd. You know, I don't need to do this in front of people. I mean, I don't know if this will help at all, but to be quite honest, I'm not very much one for holding on to monetary possessions, I guess you could say. I'm more trying to help people as I go, and I will take out my 1,500 worth of credit vouchers that I have, and say, I don't know if this will help at all in the rebuild, but you can use this for coin in places like Olniel and things, or other towns. It should be good.
He smiles at you. I have no use for such things. I never visit down there. I stay up here in my own mountain hold.
It is a good thought, but Badoom is more of a friendly neighbor who likes to look over our keep than anything else.
Oh, so there's no one who like buys provisions or buys more tools or anything like this?
The best I've known.
I would think it would be Degra.
The best I've known is Eldrin has occasionally wandered back and teleported many goods to the families here, provided that they provide him with something else to trade.
All right. So that would be the wizard then.
Yes, it's just him.
All right.
He's likely up in his tower by now.
All right. Perhaps tomorrow then. Okay, well, hey, Badoom, great tour, by the way. 5 stars, you know, I thought you did pretty good. I'm not going to tell you how many stars, but you got 5. So there you go. I thought it was a great tour. Thank you for all of the information.
I'm glad you liked it. Anytime you need a friendly tour, I'm here to provide.
All right. Well, you know, I'll let you get back to your day, and then I'll look at Rook, be like, so we can go back to keep now, yes, or?
Yes, we can head back that way.
We'll head back to the keep.
Splendid! I shall return to my abode. Of course, if you need me, just call out.
How? Okay, hold on. Well, as I turn back around, wait. How would one do that? Do you just shout out your name or
Yes.
Badoom like that?
Yes.
That's it.
Yes. Loud and
okay.
clear. Make
That's
sure to
great.
shout it.
Good to know. Okay. Okay, that's it. That's
I
good
kind of lean over to
information
whisper to
know.
Victor. I kind of want to try that at some arbitrary time in the future, just to see.
Just to see if it works, right? Yeah, right. Okay. All right. Well, all right. And we'll walk back.
Have a splendid evening, then.
You too.
You do the same, Badu. See you later.
He eventually pushes and takes off and returns to the clouds.
You know, when you're with that guy, you almost like want to talk like him. Like I kind of caught myself sometimes being like, "You too." I had no idea why.
He has a very infectious manner about him.
Yeah, he like rubs off on you, but in a good way. So that's okay. Well, very virtuous. Very. I want to stand a little taller next to that dragon. All right. Anyway.
All right.
That's all I'm gonna do. I just want to find that wizard guy and see if I can't do the same thing and pawn off these credits towards this guy.
Oh yes, if you provide them with that, he will
if you
look
use
at...
it towards town stuff.
Yeah, if you do that, he will look at you. As he opens the door and you start to offer them to them, he will be... That is very sensible, and I appreciate that. Thank you. That will help a lot of families. Thank you.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, if you and Badoom are trying to rebuild the city, have you picked out like name for the place yet?
No, I don't bother with the names of things. I'm focused on my work currently.
All right. All right, so I'll hand him over the
How is that
1,500
going?
in credits.
Have you had any success yet?
My success has been steady, but I might be running into a roadblock soon. Should I find myself in such a terrible state, I will let you know. But in the meantime, I am fine, and I shall
Please do.
continue my work in private, if you don't mind.
Yes, of course. Best of luck in your endeavors here, and let us know if you need anything. We'll try to assist.
Thank you.
Especially if it comes to like naming things in the town. I really have a lot of interest in perhaps helping with that.
I
I
trust
think
in
perhaps you
your
ought to,
skills to name.
Oh, good. All right. Well, when it comes to that point, be sure to look up Victor. I will help you with naming. I'm very good at names.
I think you may wish to follow up with the denizens of the town themselves on that one, Victor.
All right. All right. I hand him over 1,500 gold to
All
help
right.
with the city.
Excellent. He happily takes it,
I'm
and
just pulling off all my.
yeah,
fucking
you really
gold.
are.
Whatever.
But yeah,
All right.
he's so happy with that. But yeah, if you guys wanted to do anything else before the evening begins to close.
I have a list.
Okay, Mr. List?
All right. First off, last third level sending. This is going to go to Velcom. I've already counted all the words. Hypothetical question. If submerged in water with water breathing first, would your gas trap or any other gas trap have an effect? Any other suggestions?
Well, certainly it would have an effect. That's why there are different types of magic that allow you to breathe unfriendly air, toxic air, not water.
Okay. That's that one out of the way. Next one. This is to the matron of House TL.
Okay.
This one's a little more freeform. Meeting of invading blue dragon at. I have 11 words to describe exactly where the base is. Happening tomorrow if you have resources to investigate.
I'm afraid we do not have the means to spare to try and scout his planning. We must focus on Draken at the moment and handle him later.
Okay. Put that in my noggin. Next, I'm going to take out the drift globe.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and scry on my Nana.
Okay. Let's see.
DC 19.
All right, so she has like a plus 4 to this. Okay.
Well,
Thanks, Nana.
Nana resisted this time.
she's baking cookies. Can't be disturbed right now.
Keeping that secret recipe. Real secret.
You could just send her a message first, and then like ask her to let you try it, and she could let you do it.
I mean, I'm gonna send it now.
Okay, well, yeah, well, sadly, she's immune to it for 24 hours.
Yeah, first
I
try.
just imagine like there's a scry thing in the corner, and she's like holding over the fucking bowl again.
Just like no,
You can
bats
see
it
it.
To the
away.
grave with this recipe.
As soon as
Throws a doily over it, so you can't see through.
as soon as this happens, Smokey's like sending. No, wait, it's me. It's Smokey. Just wanted to check in. Sorry, didn't mean to scare you. Wanted to ask how things are going, and that's roughly the gist.
All right. Okay, so the reply is going to be, I'm tired of all these lies. Just leave me alone, Bahir. Just go away. Torment me no more.
Well, Nana.
Smokey takes a minute, as I do as well.
And cries.
There's no way to disguise.
Thinking. Backstory, jumble head. Okay. Sending number 2 is also Nana. Let me look at my notes. No, I can do this. All right. Nana. It is me. I didn't know Bahira. You used to teach me how to play games with Edie, Dory, and Barbie. Are you okay?
All right. As you say that, she will have a bit of a pause, but then, is it truly you this time? If it is, I hope you're well. And please, know that I love you. And goodbye.
6th level sending happening right now.
Oh boy! follow up.
Where are you now? Is it somewhere with something familiar for me to scry on? I will try again, and you can just talk, and I will hear you.
Okay. She'll reply, I'm in my room. I've been in here for so long. If you will and can, I hope you can see me one last time.
So I was gonna scry my brother, but fuck that. 2nd, 5th level scry. I'm gonna scry on some trinket that I know she always keeps by her bed.
You
It's
can do
not
a
the bed
location in the
itself.
scry.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I'll just do her bedroom.
All right, okay. So, as you gaze into the Driftglobe, looking at it intently, your vision begins to slowly become absorbed in the mist, and you feel yourself being drawn to a memory, allowing you to focus in and scry. As your vision clears and you can see once more the familiar setting of your grandmother's room, the very familiar atmosphere and theme of your home slowly beginning to invade your senses, you can see her laying in bed, just casually trying her best to breathe and just be there without any real attempt to do much more than that. As she is looking around, She isn't sure if she sees anything, but at first you can just see her smile for the moment and just hope that somewhere it's working, and she just begins to say, "If you're there, Smokey, I hope everything is okay. I'm so sorry you had to go through all this, but you were my only hope. And if you're still alive, that's wonderful news. My only regret is I won't see you again. If you were still there, just know that I'm very proud of you, and I think that what you're doing is one of the most noblest things any one of us could do. Please, don't let them have it. It must be kept safe. Promise me that. I'm sorry I can't play with you one more time. I'm just so tired. So tired." And she doesn't seem to move for the moment, and she's laying in the bed.
Can I do some sort of investigation perception check just to look around the room to see any sort of like signs of people being there, just things I can try and find? Any medications is where my mind's going, but that's
Sure.
maybe not a thing.
Sure. Go ahead and just make a perception check as you look around real quick.
All right.
11? Do you want to use inspiration?
I'm using inspiration on that.
Okay.
Come on. Better.
17. All right. So, as you look around and begin to analyze the room carefully and cautiously, trying to see if anything pops out, your eyes do lock on something, and as you stare at it for a moment, a realization hits you. And just as you begin to kind of understand something more, you can see a shuffling in the curtains to the right as a figure begins to emerge and come into the room. And that's where we're going to end it for tonight, as we will come back next week to see who you will find is now entering your grandmother's room.
What the fuck?
That's going to be a party.
But
I have nothing to do with that.
But yes, we will be returning with that next week for you guys to see what Smokey is seeing, and we shall be happy to share the story further at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So for me and my fabulous 4 here, we will have the 5 come back next week. We appreciate everything, and thank you so much, and we'll catch you next time. Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
everybody. Good night. Bye.
Have a good night, folks.
Bye.
Good night, all.